Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists.
Whoopsie.
Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up around and find out.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Hey, everybody.
Howdy.
Hello. There's Ben. Hey, everybody.
Hi, friends. Hi, Ben.
Your mic's
Voice,
not hear you.
Mike's not catching.
Leftist audio, baby. Every week.
Every single week we had there's this problem somewhere.
Yeah.
At least it's not skipping this week like last time.
Yeah, I was looking at the comments. I'm like, oh my god, please, 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 and I didn't see any complaints about the intro, so I think we're okay.
It usually sounds like a robot, but not this week.
Yeah. It's still
Yeah,
really
you're
soft.
still a bit low now.
Okay. Maybe in the settings on StreamYard you could boost it.
Mhm.
If the mic's not catching.
Let's see what we can do.
Oh, it's getting a little better.
Sounding better,
It's
yeah.
getting better.
A little bit better. Let's see. Crank a little bit more.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
There we go. How about that? Okay. All right. Now I'm here. How's it going, fellas?
Perfect. How are
Now
you
you're
doing?
too-
Good to
now
have
you're
you
too-
back.
Now you're too loud.
No. He's just
I wasn't
saying
gonna
that
say
because he doesn't
anything.
want to.
Every guest has to be at least a little bit louder than us, so we don't
Yeah,
talk
true.
over them. Because I mean, that's what we do every single time, so it's important for that.
I'm
But how
afraid
have you been?
I'm good, man. Listen, thanks y'all so much for having me tonight. Shout out to Rebecca Azor for holding this spot here, man. Thanks to you guys for bringing her on and bringing her to the family. So shout out to all of y'all.
Oh yeah, we love Rebecca, and yeah, happy that you are filling in for her. It's always nice to see a familiar face, and yeah, you're one of the greats. So yeah, welcome back.
Man, I'm honored.
Yeah, the one thing that I am very curious about is last week we ended with Matt Binder near death because he was experiencing very, very bad motion sickness.
A little bit over the top.
Oh, that's
a little bit over the top.
I'm trying to keep him engaged, Matt. But how are you feeling?
No, I'm still suffering from it's called like mal de débarquement or something. It's basically when you you maintain your sea legs after a long boat ride, like your equilibrium is off, and it's been like this for almost 2 weeks now.
You still have it?
Yeah, it's getting a little bit better. It's not as bad.
Oh.
It's not as bad. But apparently, I've been reading about it, reaching out to people and who've had similar. Sometimes it lasts for weeks, sometimes it lasts for months. There's stories about people who deal with it for years. I don't think that's going to be me, but it seems like some people have this happen. So it's getting better though. I feel like it's not as bad as it was last week. That's for sure.
That's good. Did you ever go to the doctor or anything? Or
I did contact the doctor. They said give it another week.
Okay.
Before you come in, yeah.
And how much was that call worth? Like $6,000? Is that how that works there?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
For me, a 15-minute call with my doctor is $50 every single time. Because I have to talk to them like once a year to just like re-up my medication because I'm on antidepressants. And every single time, $50 just to be like, yep, still fucked up in the head, still need them. So $50. So yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't call you fucked up in the head. I would say it's pretty natural to be super depressed considering everything we're facing. Even though I understand depression's a different issue, but yes.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything, right? It's a depression, anxiety, panic disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder. I've got check all the boxes. I've got them all. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna need this for at least the foreseeable future, assuming that I get a new brain or the political climate doesn't change. I'm just need a 10-year re-up on it, so I don't have to pay $50 every single year.
Well, did seeing Trump and this latest indictment give you any boost your mood at all?
It did actually, and the thought of seeing that mugshot, it makes me very, very happy. Yeah, but we'll have to see. I'm really excited for the mugshot and the ensuing memes. I don't know. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a big boost to lefty morale.
I will say though that it's gotten to the point for me where it's just like, indictment number 37. I'm used to it now. It's just they just keep coming.
4
in.
indictments, I think 91 charges. So
let me know when something actually happens. Let me know when he's found guilty of something.
These are things that are happening. I mean, he's not behind bars, but the stuff is happening. It takes time. It shouldn't take this much time, but it's
that's going to be my question. Does anyone think Trump is actually going to spend some time behind bars?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I didn't with the first one. I didn't with the second one either. The first one was Stormy Daniels. Second one was keeping all of the nuclear codes near the toilet. But the fourth one, I could see maybe a house arrest. I still can't see a judge actually sentencing a president of the United States to a day in prison, right? But
the interesting one about this one is that it's not a federal. It's not federal charges. It's the state of Georgia. So there's nothing that a Republican president can do to step in and save him from this one.
And there's nothing that the governor. Yeah, I was going to say the governor can't do anything either because of the laws here in the state of Georgia. So he's stuck. If he gets found guilty in Georgia, he might get house arrest. But I don't think I agree with you. I don't think he's going to jail.
Yeah,
I don't know. You know what? I'm going to be the hopeful one here. I think he will, and the only way that he won't is if he flees the country. Which is totally possible.
I would such a flight risk.
I'd love
he's the biggest flight risk.
There's a secret tunnel in Ivanka's gravesite on the golf course. He's found guilty and he just slips down there. That's why we haven't been taking care of the landscaping.
But you got to cut the grass to see it, though. That's the problem.
Right. That's why they haven't cut it. They've been doing secret construction. And they're covering it up with all the weeds and everything.
I've got to say, though, his behavior is really, it's bringing me a lot of joy because he's acting unhinged as he usually is. But in response to this latest indictment, one of the individuals was Jenna Ellis. And she apparently tried to get some of his money or financial help. And he told her no. And apparently the same is true for Rudy Giuliani. He's also tweeting about truthing about the image that Fox News is using, where they're using the big orange image with his I don't remember how he said it, but like his chin back. I don't know what word he said, but it made me laugh so hard because I know the exact image that he's referring to. And it's a very bad image. He looks very wet and orange. And it's hilarious. So to see him kind of abandon these folks. Oh, and by the way, the funniest aspect about the Jenna Ellis thing is that the reason why he's not supporting her is because she supports DeSantis. And so she had to do a GoFundMe. And the last time I checked, she was at like 10K. And she's going to need a lot more money. Because, we're dealing with RICO charges here. So that's not something to fuck around with. So it's funny. I think that when it comes back to who's going to go to jail, it's not going to be Trump, in my opinion. But I think some of these cronies will, right? Maybe Rudy Giuliani, I could see that. Him, maybe house arrest. But somebody in this circle is going to go to jail. It's just a matter of who. But I think that in terms of Trump getting house arrest forever, that'd be the most likely outcome. I just, like you all, I can't imagine him wearing the orange jumpsuit and actually going behind bars. It just seems inconceivable to me. I'd love to see it, but I just don't think it will.
Yeah. What did Rudy get out of any of this? That's what I'm wondering. He was so loyal to a man who's consistently not loyal to anybody, to a man he'll throw anyone under the bus. But Rudy was just like the rest of the people, even Bill Barr were like, oh, fuck this. Fuck this motherfucker. This is all lies. He's delusional. But Rudy's getting out there wasted, dripping grease and all, and then being like, oh no, the whole thing, Venezuela and all this other shit. He was a true believer. If anyone was a true believer, Rudy went till the end.
That's why I don't think, I can't imagine anyone that has, none of these guys have brains, but if anybody has brains at all, why would they not just flip on Trump? Why would they go to jail for this guy? You know what I mean? I don't understand. Why are they still in this? like you said, Trump doesn't care about any of these people. Like, isn't it obvious at this point? So I don't know what any of them are getting out of it at this point. Maybe at some point they thought, hey, I can get notoriety, more attention, book sales, whatever. But at this point, there's no reason to keep staying on the Trump train.
Well, some of them are probably true believers, and others probably land exactly where we do, where there's no way Trump's getting in trouble for any of this. So why are we going to throw him under the bus?
Yeah. No, I was going to say, do you think they believed more in the momentum, the power of the presidency when he was president, and then the momentum of him running again? Do you think that they thought maybe he was actually above the law, so maybe they were above the law? Because I don't know.
I feel like that's got to be part of it, right? Because even to us, it's inconceivable to imagine him really being held accountable, even with 4 indictments on 91 different charges. So I mean, they've got to have felt like they were invincible. But I mean, it's not them who's invincible. It's Trump who's the one who really has the most protection. So they kind of had, like, especially when you look at 18 other people indicted in Georgia. I mean, they have an incentive. Like, they're not going to have the money to defend themselves like Trump. They have an incentive to sing. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. There's talks or speculation that Mark Meadows has flipped on Donald Trump, although that's not confirmed yet. So we'll have to wait and see. But I genuinely, not only do I want to see the televised trial in Georgia, I hope that we get that. But, like, I hope that Hollywood is quick, assuming that this writer strike is done quickly. I want the movie in a couple of years. Like, this is going to be good.
While he's still alive. They need to hurry up and do it while he's still alive. Yes.
Yeah.
Who's going to play Trump?
Funny.
Who's going to play Trump?
Oh,
I don't know.
I wish Chris Farley was still alive. I think Chris Farley could have done it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't watch any of these things anymore. All these movies and documentaries that come out with Trump, and I just this is my life every day. Do I want to watch a movie about this too? Like, no, I don't. I don't care. I haven't watched, and some of these, there was that one, I forget what it is now, but there was that one actor that played Trump that it looked like he did a pretty good job. I didn't watch, I saw the trailers, but I never watched it because I don't care enough. You know what I mean? I saw the real thing. Why do I need to watch it? Someone else play him. It doesn't make. I don't know. It doesn't.
You're like Pee Wee Herman in Pee Wee's Big Adventure when he leaves the movie about his life. He leaves the theater early, and Dottie, his girlfriend, says to him, "Pee Wee, the movie's not over." And he goes, "I don't need to watch the movie, Pee Wee. I mean, I don't need to watch the movie, Dottie. I lived it."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would feel differently if he was out of the picture, though, right? Like, it'd be easier to consume the media and look back at the historical event if we weren't currently living through it. That's the problem, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, his supporters are batshit fucking insane. Are they going to do another, January 6th?
They're not showing up, though.
Thing? That's true.
Have you seen the protests? They're all empty. It's just like they have all these rows on the streets ready for all these people, but no one's showing up. I was like, oh, wow, that's sad.
True.
Everyone's got better things to do now. Yeah.
I think what we're going to see is probably what we saw today, where there's like these individualized incidents. Like, there was a woman, I don't know where she's from, but she threatened the judge in the federal case, Judge Tanya Chutkan, and said she wanted to kill her and kill all the Democrats, and also threw in LGBTQ people. It's like, hey, we didn't indict him, okay? So leave us alone in this, okay? You can kill us with the death cams.
It's any excuse to kill them.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Like, give us a little bit of a break, okay? But yeah, so I think that things like that are probably going to be more common. I think that the January 6th thing, to see how he abandoned them, I mean, even though these people are very unhinged, I mean, self-interest, self-preservation, that's still going to be at the forefront of their minds.
Yeah, but how many of those people did he abandon that are still like, yeah, Trump 2024, baby? I mean,
that's true.
I mean, there have been a few, like, I've seen that have come out and been like, man, my eyes have been opened afterwards, and good for them. But I mean, the vast majority have not turned on Trump.
Speaking of which, do you want to see some of these freaks? Here's a.
Ooh.
So this was Walter Masterson. I think we shared a video of his before. He's like a comedian who interviews these people. Here's this speaks for itself.
I'm happy right now because I haven't seen near as many rainbow flags and rubbish as we've seen last year.
Making the kids wear these flags and these hats, yes, right? And it's like, don't make kids wear these flags and these hats and make it their entire.
Absolutely.
They make it their whole identity. They've got the shirts, they've got the flags, they got the hats, they got the shirts. It's like
Hey, it's Foreshadowed.
Oh, that's the hip hop
these
guy.
people
Yeah.
with these flags. They're waving it in our faces.
Right. I don't care if you're gay.
Like, just don't wave this flag in my face. These flags everywhere that they wave around in everyone's face. It's become their entire personality. Yeah, absolutely. You have these people with their flags and their hats that they wave around in everyone's faces, and it's become their entire personality. I live in a place where everybody is gay.
Whoa,
what?
Where's that?
Hell yeah.
No, that's
Hell
really
yeah.
busy.
You should have seen how
Man,
it looked me
the
trying to
awakening
just get on a
happened.
flight to get down here with a MAGA hat on. They treated me like I was Osama bin Laden.
It's become harder
Oh
to
my
be
God.
open about your identity nowadays. Right?
Yeah, people just need to speak up. They need to say what they believe. I'm a straight male as well.
You're a straight white male.
And I'm proud of that.
You should see my truck. I can't see out my back window because I got so many bumper stickers. Just on a Saturday or Sunday, I got nothing to do. I put my flags out and I ride through town to remind everybody.
I can't wear a MAGA hat in some places because, some people don't like that identity. Can you imagine like going someplace and being attacked just for your identity? That's crazy.
Like right against the
Really
Walter
great.
Masterson there. Really good. That just amazing, these people.
Yeah. And the irony is completely lost on all of them. Everybody go subscribe to Walter Masterson. He actually he did another where he went to a forced birther rally, and he was pretending to be like pro forced birther and trying to get them to sign a petition for like universal daycare or something like that, or a maternity leave. And there were some that were in support of it, but a lot of them were like, no, this sounds like some liberal shit, basically. Really funny stuff. He's able to flawlessly get them to expose like how their worldview is just so shallow, and it's all just based on like reactionary emotional bullshit.
He at that same rally had a pack of cake mix and some like milk or whatever, and just started mixing it. He's like, "This is the same as a cake," and just started spilling it all over himself. It was art. Yeah.
I'm curious to know where that guy lives, where everyone is gay, because that sounds very sus to me.
Maybe just a quick vacation.
Where is that island at?
Yeah. Like, why are you still there then? Are you like inadvertently telling us
I'm
something?
the last straight guy, the last straight man in America.
Was he complaining or was he bragging? That's
right. God, I love these people. They're driving me crazy. See, we have to deal with their bullshit probably for the foreseeable future, so we get to make fun of them. I don't feel bad about that at all.
True. What do y'all think is going to happen in terms of like he's still the front runner, right? Like the Republicans aren't really pushing anyone else. DeSantis is fucked, as far as I can tell. It's going to be Trump, right? Just mathematically.
I mean, I can't imagine anyone else.
I have
no
no
what happens.
I have no idea how this plays out.
Yeah.
Will he actually run from jail or will he run from court? Because he has to show up in federal court. I don't know if he has to show up but I know in state court in Georgia, he has to be there during the trial. So I don't know how he's going to pull it off, but the Republicans really are screwed at this point.
You'll never catch me. He's running down. You can't catch me.
Imagine like taking time to campaign in between your trial. It's such a bizarre fucking situation that we're gonna find ourselves in.
I mean, he's the guy who can use that to his advantage, though, when it comes to campaigning. I don't think he'll have a problem with that.
Sure.
To be fair to him, he has a really good campaign message. Let's check it out. His interview here on Larry Kudlow. Here's what he's really focused on.
You'll be able to buy an electric car, but you're going to be able to buy every form of car that's made. You've got to have choice. Like in school, we want school choice. We want choice for buying cars and washing machines and all of this stuff. I mean, the dishwashers, they were telling me you have to run it 5 times because it hasn't got enough water. So what they do, on. They end up using more water. I mean, the whole thing is crazy.
It's so stupid. This is the same shit he's been saying forever. Like, this is where we get to, like, if you still think you can convert anyone who still supports Trump, I think you're out of your goddamn mind. Like, no, you can't. You can't. These people, anyone that still supports him, they are gone. I'm sorry, they're gone. They need to figure out their own shit up. Maybe, you know, in 20 years they'll either die or like realize the error of their ways. But at this point, there's no hope.
How embarrassing must it be for DeSantis to be losing to this guy, though, right?
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, like, he's 4 times indicted, twice impeached, and Ron DeSantis' plan for this upcoming debate is to not attack Donald Trump when Donald Trump is a front runner. So that's just how horrible of a candidate DeSantis really is.
Yeah, who's in his ear? I mean, that's just the worst advice ever. And it's so bad for him that now there was a poll that came out from Emerson College where Chris Christie is ahead of him in New Hampshire. It's by 1 point, but I mean, nonetheless, this was the alternative to Donald Trump, right? And nationally, Vivek Ramaswamy is like, he's gaining. Like, he's not close to him. He's gaining. So if the trajectory continues within a couple of months, he could be tied with DeSantis or pass him. So yeah, that's a great point. It's got to be embarrassing for all the Republicans, right? Because they know that this electability argument, even though it's actually valid this time, it's just not working. Like, they just don't give a shit. And yeah, like as David said, you're not going to convince these people. It irritates me to no end how there are some liberals and lefties who will be like, oh, well, you know, they support Trump, but they have these like underlying economic frustration. It's like, okay, if you actually believe that and you don't think that they're just stupid, talk to my uncle for like 5 seconds and he'll immediately start shitting himself, talking and like throwing out communism. Yes, is he broke as fuck? Absolutely. But he does not give a fuck about the economy. He would gladly cut off his nose to spite his face just to fuck over marginalized people. So these are not folks that you can reach. They just have to die off, literally. It's sad, but I mean, it's my own family. I'm saying
they procreate, though. You know what I mean? They're passing this stupidity down to another generation, like, and it's more intensified. So, like, I would long for a day where they not your uncle per se, but like all the rest of them would die, but they're passing it down to the next generation.
I wouldn't care that much, but thankfully his I'm sorry, people are gonna think I'm such a sociopath. No, I'm not. I don't have much love for my family and stuff, but thankfully, like his offspring are completely different, which kind of gives me hope in a way, right? Because like the same was true for me. Like I was raised in a very like hyper conservative evangelical environment, and I escaped that, and it kind of feels like, you know, I left a cult in a way, because I mean it kind of was culty, you know, certain elements of like these churches can be very culty, and mine was that way as well. So like to see it not get passed down, it does give me some hope. But the problem is that it does happen more often than not, I think, right? And so that's where I think we really should focus on, like not converting these MAGA chuds who are never going to be converted, nor do they want to, but like making sure that the cycle doesn't repeat, right? Like some way.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this is also, I mean, this is maybe sound like a weird take here, but I think this is also why free education is so important, because being exposed to different ideas, different people, that's what changes a lot of people's minds. And if you simply grow up like in your small town and you don't interact with anybody outside your state or your city, you're going to have a very sheltered view of the world. You're not going to change. You're not going to experience any other ideas, any other cultures. So being like having access to higher education as easily as possible is, I think, one of the best ways to get out of any kind of rut like this, because you have then a population that is raised to that experience other kind of perspectives and cultures and people, and they change their minds.
So America is screwed, then, is what you're saying. That's what I'm hearing on my end of the microphone.
Well, for now.
No, I was looking at the clip coming out of Texas, like just how much they're working to destroy the education system in the United States, right? They had like, I don't know, some 400 teachers jam-packed in a hallway trying to get their certifications and everything ready to teach this year, right? Normally, you will never see that in a school system, but in Greg Abbott's school system, you're seeing the complete and total breakdown of the entire education system. So when I heard you say that, I said, David really must not be in the United States, because they are doing everything they can to make sure they keep the body politic as stupid as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why they're doing PragerU in Florida, right? Where
God.
that's
When I saw that, I like that.
So bad.
Yeah, I felt terribly just imagining those kids like not realizing what they're being exposed to, the garbage they're seeing. I saw R.M. Brown cover it, and like some of the videos that PragerU is putting together for these kids, it's so ridiculous. Like they complain about politics in schools, and then in the next clip, they're somehow finding a way to insert communism into a discussion when they're like building something with popsicle sticks. Like it's really bizarre. Like they're mixing like children's like art with their crazy right-wing garbage. It's disturbing, but also in a way it's funny because you it's something I never imagined that you could even like accomplish in any way that would actually be put into an actual school. And now you have a state like Florida where this is what they're looking at.
Yeah, it's not even subtle too, which is the thing. Like I did a video on this, and the propaganda is so overt and in your face that I think that in a way, like if that child or young person has even a little bit of intelligence, they're gonna see that it's bullshit on its face. Like I was watching one of them where these two kids, this is a cartoon, went back in time to talk to Booker T. Washington, and they were like, "But
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah, but Mr. Washington, don't you think America is bad because of slavery? Aren't you ashamed to be an American?" And he's like,
"Of course not. Of course, I don't think there's anything wrong with slavery.
I'm actually more proud because we got rid of it. Like, what the fuck?"
That's so wild.
Yeah, it's so insane. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I remember seeing propaganda in schools, right? Like I don't know if you all had DARE as well, but I had DARE, the Drug Awareness Resistance Education. You get the lion stuffed animal to sit at your desk.
That really got Bender, I can tell you that.
Great logo. Great logo, though. Great logo.
Bender, the straightest edge man on earth.
It's funny because like the straight edge like hardcore scene sort of ironically like took that DARE logo as its own, and they like actually that's why I have a DARE hoodie, because it was like a thing in the scene for a while. But yeah, the background of it is it's not good. It was like it had like a religious bent to it or something like that, right? And propaganda, but the overall message is kids don't do drugs is a good one.
It was so funny because I absolutely I was a little sheep as a child, and the officer who would teach in my classroom was the officer who arrested my brother when he violated a restraining order when I was a kid. And I'm like, "Hey, are you officer so-and-so?" He's like, "Oh yeah, how are you doing?" Like, "Yeah, that's my brother." Like not, just oblivious as a kid. But it's funny when I think back about it, But yeah, I remember that propaganda. And it was very overt propaganda. And I had that through grades 3 and 5, and there were kids already smoking. So apparently it didn't work. It worked on me.
Wait, not grade 3 smoking.
I think it was probably like 4 or 5 when kids were smoking. But yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was very propagandistic.
It's worth noting though that we all, grew out of that, and we all like. So even the worst propaganda. I'm not saying that we should be okay with the propaganda in schools, but I'm just saying that it's possible to not be in that mindset forever. Like you can hit that propaganda, and unfortunately it can take years off your life, and it takes a while to get to the right place, and you may even still I think I still even have like inclinations towards like being afraid of certain things because of how I was raised in schools on some of that shit. But it ultimately we can teach ourselves out of that at some point.
Well, and what they do is, I think that they don't really understand what's going to resonate with kids, because there was one drug propaganda cartoon from the Ninja Turtles, and I would watch it all the time, but not because of the message. Like the message went over my head. Like I just like the Ninja Turtles. And so if they're going to try to like embed these thoughts into our heads, I don't know. I just feel like it's not the way that they're doing it isn't very effective, because for me, like I was very much like, receptive to the propaganda. But then, now I'm not. So I don't know. How do you get that to last? I guess you can't really.
How do you get the propaganda to last?
Yeah. How do you get it to, to stick? I don't know if you can.
No, if you give them jobs in that field, they would be like Charlie Kirk and they would buy the propaganda for the rest of their life and they'll spread. Because I think that's the other piece. But because when kids get out of their parents' house and they get hit with the reality of life and capitalism and everything else, they're more prone to question what their parents lied to them about. You know, what else did my parents lie to me about? They said these were going to be the best years of my life, or all I had to do is go get a job and work. That's propaganda too, right? So, you know, but if they fall into the arms of a rich conservative billionaire, I guess they'll believe it the rest of their life.
That's true. Yeah. They have the incentive to do it. Yeah. The real world, regardless. I mean, you could try to shelter your kids from the world and, you know, stop them from learning about things, but the real world is going to slap them, you know, in the face, and it is going to change them. Like for me, my first like major like shock was after like not really leaving the evangelical, but just like stopped going to church, but still like believer, like starting to go to college and realizing, oh, it's bad to hate gay people. You know, like I had no idea that was the case. And it's like, oh, I thought we were still, I guess I'm, you know, a little bit late to the party. So like all the homophobic things that I would say were now like, I'd get looked at with side eye. So then I had to like reevaluate. And it's like, wait, if hating gay people isn't bad anymore, then am I? No. You know, you're always going to like, you know, reality is going to catch up with you, right? So like I think that especially as an evangelical, this might be projection or former evangelical. I think that like all these efforts to ban books and do all that, it's going to backfire because you're going to create this curiosity. You know, you're going to make kids want to go to that. Like I couldn't watch Harry Potter as a kid. Like, you know, it was one of the first movies I watched as an adult, right?
That was a good move from your parents, it turns out, you know?
Right. And now I don't watch it for different reasons, but you know
Maybe they saw the transphobic J.K. Rowling from a mile away, and they were like, "My kid will not be brought up on this."
Yeah. Deprogramming yourself. Yeah, reality will deprogram you. Honestly, as my dog Zergoth says, the real world is out there. You know, you can raise your kid in a cave, but they're gonna leave someday, that's gonna be, you know, they're gonna evolve into the person who they want to be. Like when it comes, like with my example, I could have been more homophobic when I was exposed to like people not liking homophobia, and you know, I could have hardened my stance and doubled down, but then I just kind of like was quiet and then, you know, started to shut up about it. So, you know, it just depends. Like you're gonna evolve into your full form once you know, grow up and you start going to college and you get a job. So yeah.
You guys is anybody old enough? No, I don't think you guys are, to remember Family Ties.
I do. I remember Family Ties. Yeah.
Okay. I have a theory that because the Michael J. Fox character is the opposite of his parents, who are liberals, right? So Michael J. Fox became this Ronald Reagan conservative while he was in high school. I just kind of have this theory that kids are just automatically going to rebel against their parents no matter what, and so they'll eventually become and I hope it's not true because I want my kids to be like me, but so I'm really struggling with it. But every time I see liberal parents end up having conservative children, conservative parents end up having liberal children. What do you guys think about that?
I don't think it's just strictly rebelling against their parents. Like I think that's what it turned out to be in previous generations, because things weren't like I don't want to say it's extreme, because obviously over the years, you know, society has gotten more progressive, but the extremes were less extreme. Like in the 80s when, you know, Michael J. Fox was a young Republican, Reagan was seen respectably. I mean, they were wrong, but, you know, that sort of thing was like, you know, so if you were, I guess,
a Marxist today too.
Right. Yeah. Except a few things now. But yeah. I think now it's like, I don't think that, like, you know, if kids, you know, go to school and have, you know, friends who are LGBTQ, I don't think they're going to just, their parents or progressive going to suddenly turn against their friends or something. I think, you know, one thing that could happen, I think we saw this happen a bit with Gen Z, is, you know, they don't, at least, you know, Gen Z, maybe the later Gen Z, they don't really view any of it as different in terms of like, it's a big deal that this is that way. Like, you know, I feel like there was a bit of backlash over like representation being a big deal with Gen Z because they don't view it as a big deal because they're just so used to it because it just is for them.
Matt,
but then there's also that weird thing where when it comes to like sex, there's this like, at least online, there's like this cohort of younger Gen Z that's like really prude. And they're like, sex scenes aren't necessary in movies. It's really weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's not like, I don't know. It's definitely more conservative, but not really politically, more culturally in certain ways. But I don't think that's an overarching theme either. I just think it's a very specific cohort of Gen Z. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm all over the place. All over the place.
I think that there are certain aspects of like of culture or whatever that there will be like a rebellion against, or like, you know, people or kids will rebel against their parents in certain ways. But I don't think it'll be necessarily about just general politics, because I think part of it is we're more knowledgeable now as well. Like we have, you know, the internet, and I know there's shitty parts and parts that will make you go crazy. But I think by and large, when you look at where Gen Z is now, at least from my understanding, by looking at the data, they are further to the left than previous generations have been. And part of that, I think, is, as Matt said, where the parties currently are. And also part of that, just there's more knowledge. And I don't think, you know, while there may be certain aspects where people are more conservative, kids are more conservative, or, you know, as Binder said with the, you know, sex scenes, I don't think overall that's going to be the case when it comes to politics.
And I think it also has something to do with the climate on social media. Like currently, you see that sentiment arise, and then that coincides with like these figures like Andrew Tate and these other like I don't know, red pill slash I don't know, pickup artists or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. So I think that's part of it, but I think that will change as well. Like we've kind of gone through different phases over the last 10 years. Like there was Gamergate, and then the anti-SJW era, and then I think that the anti-SJW era kind of crashed and burned around like 2018, 2019, and now it's back, and I think it's going to crash and burn again. I think that some people, just like depending on their age, might go with the flow and what their friends are doing, and that might explain it. Although I don't know, because that's part of it. Maybe also the prudishness is because of like loneliness due to the pandemic and not being successful with the ladies, and you're not getting out there. I don't know, but I think that social media's got to have something to do with it, at least.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, but then there's also weird things where social media is how some people just take information and then they don't understand anything, because social media is not really the place to get the whole entirety of history about something. Like I think one example today I saw was like Gen Z was canceling Judy Garland of Wizard of Oz fame, because there were a few movies in her early career when she was a young teenager where she did blackface, but they didn't know they didn't know the history of back in that time. Her parents or whoever her guardian was basically signed her away to the studios. Like how Hollywood worked back in the days, you signed a contract with the studios, and they basically like that specific studio owned you. Like you didn't sign up for particular pictures. She was in
an abusive, like a highly abusive,
like she was in a very abusive, and so she was forced to do these movies. Also, she's like 15 doing these movies in the 30s or before that even. Like she even understands what she's doing fully then. Without knowing the whole, without knowing that picture and how, in her later years, she was very active in the civil rights movement. She wasn't some racist. That wasn't who she was.
Like, I don't think there should be ever an excuse for the use of blackface. I think it's just a case where people should learn all the history. Like, if you're going to learn this story, learn what happened.
It's not Judy.
I think context matters there
in that specific scenario. She was 15 and not able to do anything. They basically owned her. I mean,
that sounds like excuses to me, Matt.
All right.
No, I'll say, even though with the context, it does in a weird way give me hope that Gen Z is like that is a problem for them, right? Because I feel like for them to be cognizant of that, I mean, when you look at the older generations, I mean, fucking even like Gen X, I mean, would something like that bother them? So I feel like the more socially conscious that we're becoming is good. Even despite because I didn't know the history as well. I didn't even know that she did that, but Yeah, I like that Gen Z is, for lack of a better word, like very, very woke. It kind of gives me hope. It's just a matter of like how much of them will stay this way. Because there's the old saying. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear the old saying now.
No, just like that you get more conservative with age, right? But I feel like that's not happening. It's not happening with millennials, and we'll see if that happens with Gen Z depending on the climate. But yeah, go ahead.
The stats that I see usually is that, like, what is it? Millennials and Gen Z are the two like generational divides that go in opposition to the ones before, where they go very far left pretty rapidly, which, yeah, I agree with you, is a really nice thing to see. But I think that's one of the scary things about people like Ron DeSantis in Florida trying to pass like revisionist history. Like that's got to be part of the entire program. Like, why else would you want to change African American studies, queer studies, specifically banning books that are like, you know, directly related to LGBTQ plus people? Like, it's with purpose.
Yeah.
The same thing with PragerU kids, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, as one thing that I've kind of like learned to adapt to is this notion that nothing is inevitable. Because like I remember in the 2010s, I was watching like this Lawrence O'Donnell clip on MSNBC. I was a young sockdam lib and loved that shit. But you know, he was talking about how, look, in these next elections, and this was just after I think Romney had lost. He's like, it's over for the GOP. Demographics are changing. And what do? Well, they just like, they double down on gerrymandering and voter suppression. So they will adapt, right? So they're not just going to sit by in horror and look at the, you know, projections and see how Gen Z is much more left leaning. They're going to adapt. And that's kind of what we're seeing now, I think, with the PragerU stuff.
Yeah.
The right is also freaking out. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the right is freaking out about the increase in queer folk too. Like I saw a recent Joe Rogan episode where they're looking at those same stats that keep getting brought up to be like, well, it seems like there's more people identifying as LGBTQ plus than ever before, which is like, it's wild. They're still not getting the like increased access to information. People not calling you the F slur every single time you leave the house. All that kind of stuff may increase the amount of people who don't want to be afraid about, you know, self-identifying.
Yeah, well, listen, for those who don't know why there's so much more queer people, we are recruiting, okay? We try to hide it, but we are actually recruiting, okay? I got 5 this week, so yeah, welcome.
You gave him the woke mind virus.
Hey, Mike, I'm going to tell you, that's going to be a hell of a soundbite that they're going to flip out and say, we found them. We found the one groomer.
Well, you know what's funny is that when I was younger, I actually did believe that. And my thought was that like, oh, they're recruiting because they want to like expand the dating pool. Like I was like 17, right? So, you know, brain not fully formed. I actually thought that this was a thing. I mean, this is what I was told, right? Wow. But it's funny. The only reason why I thought that they could recruit was because I was susceptible to being recruited because I know how I felt, right? And so when these people say things like that, it does make me question them. And like I get people say, "Oh, Mike thinks everyone is gay," but seriously, there's so many things that are red flags to me. Yeah, I think that to an extent that's true. Yeah, but like it comes back to the whole Doubt protest too much, right? If you like. Shia Reichik, best example ever, when she was on Tucker Carlson, she was like, oh, yeah, and, you know, LGBT, they're recruiting kids because it's so alluring. And, like, the way, I'm paraphrasing, but the way that she worded it was like, oh, she's a lesbian. Okay, this makes total sense.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So there are things that they believe because they are externalizing their internal struggle, whereas normal folks who don't have, I shouldn't say normal, but you know what I mean? Like people who are heterosexual and don't struggle with that, they don't have these feelings. They don't think that they could be recruited because they're not attracted to men. You can't make them attracted to men by putting a dick in front of their face. Like that's not how it works. And you only think that this happens if you want it to if you like think that it could happen to you. So yeah,
Mike
it's funny.
said it all right there when that slip of the tongue when he said normal folks.
Yeah,
that was it right there.
Mike, that's that evangelical coming out of you, man.
That's true. Yeah. Still working on deprogramming, right?
Not those freaks like me.
Yeah, there's
hey,
sorry, go ahead, Lance.
Well, I was just going to quickly say, when right to your point, Mike, when people say that, when they're like, they're recruiting or they're increasing because people want it for social media score, it's like, do you not know that like nearly half of all homeless youth are queer? Like half. Like there is no social media. I'm doing it for the gram. Everyone's doing it for the gram. I lost my job for the gram. Got kicked out of my house for the gram. You know, all this fucking terrible things that actually happens to queer kids. What, for social media points? It's such a ridiculous talking point.
Yeah, and it's not one of those situations where it's like, oh, they're doing it because they want to, rebel against their parents and be cool. Like for me, I came out when I was like later, like I was 22, but I was still living with my parents. Like I had to make arrangements with my friend to stay in her trailer if I got kicked out, because I thought it wasn't like highly likely, but it was 50-50. Like it was a shock that I didn't come home and see like all my shit packed, because I told my mom, like, you've got to tell Dad. I can't do it. I was going to try. And she's like, I don't want to tell him. Like, I'm not going to fucking tell him, and you have to tell him. He's going to find out, and I'd rather him find out now. And so, yeah, I thought that all my shit would be packed. So it's not, if you're going to rebel against your parents, that's not necessarily the thing that you do to rebel. Like, we're all rebellious teenagers to an extent. Like, I got into arguments with my parents, but that's like the one thing where it's like, this isn't me being rebellious. There's less risky ways to fucking rebel, like getting a tattoo, you know what I mean? Or getting a piercing or some shit like that. Which I did do. I did get, piercings and tattoos, and they hated it. My dad hated it, actually, especially. He said, when I was trying to convince, so in 6th grade, like all the other kids, like all the other boys had like the one ear piercing, not on the gay ear. And I wanted the one ear piercing.
Which
right?
was the gay ear again?
I think the left ear was the non-gay one, and the right ear was gay, but you had to have, I think, a piercing up here. Although I'm not 100% sure.
This is so weird, all this like language back then. Like,
so I was trying to convince my dad as a 6th grader. I'm like, Dad, it's not gay if you get it on this ear. He's like, no, if God wanted holes in your ears, he would have put holes in your ears. So I like made him talk to the pastor. I'm like, no, but see, you adapt with time, because I was like the only kid without a fucking piercing. And so the pastor was like, oh yeah, your dad is right. I'm like, God damn. Finally, it was my mom who convinced him. I didn't say that as a kid because I loved God, but like, I'm thinking, how do you like, I mean, let me adapt. And so that was my little act of rebellion. But yeah, I had a piercing on the non-gay ear. Yeah, it was very.
Listen, honey,
very
there's
straight.
nothing gay if Mike wants a cock ring. Okay, let him get.
Oh my. Oh.
Yeah. That's a throwback, though. The gay ears. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, I had forgotten.
I'm pretty sure that still exists. I don't see any guys with their right ear pierced if they're, I mean, I haven't looked at it recently, but I'm pretty sure it's still a
I was
thing.
hoping that went away.
I see most dudes just have both piercings now. Like I rarely see somebody with one piercing. Yeah. I have gauges, so I don't know if you can have like one gay like stretched ear. I don't know what the parameters are with regard to that, but
What's a gauge? I'm sorry. What you say? You have gauges?
Yeah, it's like a
That's when they stretch your ear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A ring.
No,
Yeah.
I thought okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
I know
still
what
a
you thought.
fad nationally, but in Portland, 99% of us have it. So
No, I didn't know if you were saying you were gauging the amount of gay, like gaydar kind of.
That's what I took it.
it's a 5.4 on the Kinsey scale.
Oh, yes. Jules called me out in the chat room. Sorry guys, I'm going.
what else is going on? What other news is happening?
I don't even know. I'm still out of it from when I was gone a week and a half ago. I'm still catching up. I feel out of the loop. Tell me what's going on.
I don't even remember what
Canada's
I talked about.
burning to the ground. The most northern city in the country just got evacuated from forest fires.
I heard about.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I covered that today.
It's about 20,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It was one of those cities that everyone was like, it'll never happen there. It's in the north, that's so far away. And now this is where we're at. So,
and they've one road out, very little infrastructure. So like, luckily they did this early. Like they expect the fires could be there by the weekend. So they got them out like now before any of this happened. So far there's no death, no one missing. So they planned ahead of time. But just to see like wildfire, it's like over 200 wildfires that close to the Arctic Circle. It is just like, it kind of reminds you that there's no place that's safe from any impact of the climate crisis.
Not at all. And the flood, I think that might be the one thing that's would set me off more than the fascists. Like I'm neck deep in the anti-fascism like you guys are, but seeing the governments of this world literally ignore what's happening around us really suggests that we should take things up a notch, because we're here now. And then it's funny, one last thing, it's funny how everyone all the conservatives mocked Greta Thunberg's tweet that she sent out 5 years ago in June, but as soon as 5 years came and June hit, almost to the date, we start seeing all of these all the impacts, all the flooding, all the extremes. So
the heat waves. Yeah,
they can't read. That tweet is like, it doesn't say what they think it says, but it's crazy how they're bringing that back as like a gotcha.
Right.
And how is that an epic dunk? Like, oh, it's not as bad. Society is still standing. It's like, okay, let's do something. Like, I'm also like, I'm really furious that Joe Biden's pushing back against calling it an emergency or even declaring it an emergency. He's like, oh, we've almost gone all the way. It's like, God damn, like, do you not see the writing on the wall right now?
Yeah. There's
because they just think this is what's supposed to be happening. That's what their new framing of it is. It's like, it's not man-made. This is what the Earth goes through all the time. Now that they can't just ignore it and pretend that it's not going to happen at all, which is ridiculous.
Or it's space lasers. Like they're they're blaming it on everything.
I saw some of that shit.
Climate change. Yeah.
But like, let's even just take it from that scenario. It's completely inevitable. There's nothing that humans did to cause it. There's plenty of things that have been equal to that scenario that people have stepped in and used technology, advancements in technology and science to change. I mean, it's ridiculous to think like we're not naturally supposed to go into space, but you don't see anyone telling Elon Musk to stop SpaceX right this instant. This is not the way things are supposed to go. It's unnatural.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't supposed to fly. That's true.
Yeah, there was a... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to play a clip here because...
although I do think Elon Musk should shut down SpaceX and we should not follow him to Mars. So that one I agree with. If they want to take that up, I'm on board.
This is the last clip I have from this Kudlow interview, but Trump has the answer to climate change, all right? So let's...
I'm excited. I haven't heard this.
And they're taking our appliances away.
Well,
they're taking our
what?
Heaters. It's all in the name of climate change.
Yeah. So you remember when we were having a discussion about it, they sell, if you buy a new house, you have water that doesn't even come out. Even if you're in an area that most of the country has plenty of water, called rain from heaven. It comes right from heaven. Beautiful rain.
Nice.
You don't know what to do. Some places have so much you don't know what to do. And yet they have restrictors on the showers and the sinks and on washing machines where they don't give enough.
Okay, back to the wash. I can't. It's more the rains from heaven that I was really impressed by. Like, wow, they have so much they don't know what to do with it. So much rain from heaven. Yeah.
Listen, whenever there are bad wildfires, everyone just needs to go to their bathroom and masturbate. Make the angels cry so it rains a lot. Make the angels cry so it rains a lot.
Okay. I see what you did there, Matt. That was a good overlay of evangelicalism. All right.
Those are rookie numbers. You just got to get those numbers up.
Yeah, man.
There was this report that Shell is trying to get influencers to sanitize their image. And they're not making them do climate denialism. They're trying to make it seem as if they are they're fighting climate change by doing carbon offsets with everything. And so there's apparently, this is a report in the latest, like Philip DeFranco, and there's like 100 different influencers that have taken the bait for it. And yeah, so that's what they're trying to do to convince younger people that, you know, these fossil fuel companies who are destroying the planet for short-term profits, they're not actually the bad guys. See, they're actually helping the situation. And it's crazy how quickly they've moved the goalpost, right? Because I think like 10 years ago, that's when like Jim Inhofe was taking a fucking snowball to the Senate floor and they were just denying it. But then 5 years later, it's like, oh, well, it's happening, but it's not man-made. And then it's like, oh, well, it's happening and maybe it's man-made, but it's not that big of a deal. It's going to happen anyway. So it's just crazy how much they're scrambling.
I'm actually surprised.
Delay and it's working.
I'm actually surprised. I really thought Trump was going to go to his old favorite where he would go, I remember they called it global warming. Now it's climate change. Global warming, climate change. Oh, it was to get warmer, but now things are cold. It's cold. It's cold here.
Did you see that Ben Shapiro came out and then he's like, he actually had to admit it. He's like, okay, it's hot. It's really fucking hot. Well, thank God we live in a time and an age when we all have air conditioners. Turn on your air conditioners. That was it. Like, that was the extent of it.
Well, that's a very that's a very American take, even because in a lot of countries, even in like Europe, in the UK, I hear this is like a big thing in the UK where like it's been over the years getting hotter and hotter there, and ACs are not a normal thing in the UK. Like buildings and homes don't have like the built-in AC infrastructure like buildings in at least here in New York City are built with. So that's not even, and it's not even like, oh, it's in industrialized nations, not developing countries. No, literally in industrialized nations, in some of the biggest countries on the planet, AC is not a normal thing. It's not a thing that they ever needed, really, until now.
Yeah, I can't remember ever renting an apartment that had an AC built in. In Oregon.
Well, here in New York, it's not if it's not like it put in the wall. There's like the opening in the wall a lot of times for the AC, for you to buy your own AC and just fit it in. Yeah,
that's what I had to do. I had to buy like a used AC a long time ago because it's just you can't survive with that one now.
I'm curious. I don't know why I always get these people. Do you think these people actually believe what they say, like the climate deniers? Do you think they actually believe that climate change isn't a problem? Or do you think they're sociopathic enough to believe it, don't care, let's make this money, and whatever happens to our kids and grandkids doesn't matter?
But, I think they're sociopaths.
It's a little bit of both, probably, depending on the individual. I'm sure there's, a swath of people who don't believe in it at all, a swath of people who believe it and want it to happen for religious reasons. There's a swath of people who know what's going to happen and just won't care because they got theirs and they won't be here for the aftermath. Maybe they don't have kids. Maybe they don't even care about their kids or grandkids. A lot of selfish people in this world. So yeah, I think it's a combination of all, and probably others who other scenarios that I haven't even thought of yet. Probably some bizarre people who wish they were, cavemen living through the Ice Age fighting woolly mammoths, and they dream of the scenario where they're where they're Neanderthals or something. I don't know.
I think that Ben Shapiro in particular, I think he knows though. I think that he is very much aware of what he's doing, and he's making a choice for money. And I think that he just hopes that like the money can insulate his children and grandchildren from the worst effects. There's certainly those who have drunk the Kool-Aid. I think Charlie Kirk absolutely really gone mentally. He's a believer in all of this stuff. Matt Walsh too, but like Ben Shapiro, I think that he absolutely knows what he's doing, and that's what makes it more like nefarious and sick. Because as egregious as he is, like there is a level of intelligence that you don't see there. Like he's much more savvy in the way that he presents arguments.
But I guess though that makes sense, Mike, because if he can balance organizing with fascists being Jewish, then surely he could balance destroying the planet and being a propagandist for oil companies while his children are going to be here to suffer afterwards. So that's the kind of guy Ben Shapiro is. I agree.
Yeah.
Ben, to your point, I think it was like 7 years ago I read this article where there was a team of people meeting with a lot of executives in the highest levels. Like these, we're talking CEOs, billionaires, captains of industry, and a whole bunch of people, especially from the scientific community, were really excited that they were going to come there to talk about climate change and possible solutions, how they can all work together. And they were astounded to find out that all of them wanted to know what they have to do as climate change happens. Like, how do we mitigate this? Like, where do we put our mansions? Where do we have to live underground? How do we build this? Like, not at all about like, how could we try and mitigate this whole process? Just how do we keep ourselves safe into the future? And it was haunting. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's scary that we're still talking only about mitigation, because one thing that doesn't get focused on enough is climate change is here. And so you have to focus on adaptation, like focus on what is already going to happen inevitably. And so you have a ton of vulnerable people, a lot of cities without like cooling centers, nursing homes in particular that are going to be vulnerable. Like I know in 2021, when we had our 115-degree heat wave in Portland, none of us were prepared for that. Like my mom's plants were scorched, and I think like 100 people died, and it affected people disproportionately in nursing homes. And so like you've got to just accept it's here to an extent. We should still try to prevent further increase, but like we've got to work with what we've got also. And I think people are just kind of like like we're the frogs in the boiling pot, and it's to the boiling point, and we're just like, man, we've got to stop it from getting hotter when we're boiling. You know, it's scary.
Wow.
It's also, I think, just it's a tough issue for people to grasp. Like, I notice this with anybody's climate change video, whether it's mine, whether it's Mike, like, they don't perform well. Like, I still cover the issue because I want to cover it. I think it's important for people to be aware of this stuff. But just from
like that.
Yeah, people don't want to engage with it. Even people that agree with us, because it's all like, yeah, we know, but like, I can't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the feeling I think a lot of people get, is just that they feel helpless. Even if they're aware of it, they just feel like, you know, no one's listening. Anyone in power that can do anything isn't doing anything. And the people that need to hear the message are not hearing the message. So it just feels like we're going in circles, talking to the same people, saying the same things that people already know. And people don't want to engage with this topic that is just very daunting to them because they don't know how to deal with it.
Right. I appreciate the heads up for that, David. I'm just going to leave a note for myself here. If you want to grow your YouTube channel, no climate change.
Well, I like what you were doing, David, where you would hide them in your videos. Like, you'd be showing me a video.
Yeah, I've done a few like that where it's about something else.
Trick.
Like,
that's a smart trick. Yeah, it's good.
I did a Hunter Biden video that I didn't care about. I didn't care about Hunter Biden at all. So I introed it Hunter Biden, and then I went straight to climate change. And it worked. I mean, it didn't do great, but it worked better than a typical climate change video would. So
yeah, if you don't, it's like, you know, hide the pill and cheese. If you don't do that, they're not going to want it. But you know, I used to get really frustrated with that, right? Because it is like, it's demoralizing to see people.
How did you? I just got to know. How did you segue into climate change from Hunter Biden?
It was blunt.
I forget how exactly. I don't know. It was clever. I think the way I did it. I forget how it was though. I remember being impressed.
It wasn't penis related, Matt. If that's what you're asking.
Oh, this would be. How would you guys? Wait. How would each of us? I don't know how would pull that off. Could you guys pull that off? Could you segue?
Oh, it would
from Hunter
penis
Biden
for me all the way. Oh, penis for sure. Oh yeah, I'm full penis. Going penis on this one. Yeah.
Well, there was actually there was one video I did on climate change. It was about there was some bird going extinct, and the bird, I think the bird was called. Yeah, the great tit. So I was like great, like I think the title was something like "Great Tits are going away" or something.
Yeah.
And the thumbnail was like a guy looking at his computer, like, oh my god. So, you had no idea it was a climate change video.
The Earth is going up in smoke like his crack pipes. You could do.
That works.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all I got.
Well, you know, listen, you can
I got
turn
one. I got
anything-
one. I got
you
one.
can turn
If we don't
anything
do
into
something,
climate
if we don't do something about climate change right now, the only skiing you'll be doing is off of Hunter Biden's coffee table. Okay.
All right. Who else got one?
Well, let me remind you all, a month ago now, my most popular video was a video technically about climate change, but it started from a fart at a JFK press or an RFK press hearing. So I took that, turned it into climate. I mean, that was easy though, because
Fart held around the world.
yeah, they were arguing about climate change, and one of them farted. And so I was like, okay, well, here we go, boom, there's my in, right? But yeah, if you don't do that, it does. Yeah, people don't want to see it. And I used to get really frustrated with people who like don't want to watch these videos about climate change, but now I realize I do the same thing. Like, I actively avoid it because it makes me feel super hopeless, right? Like, there was something about the collapse of the ocean, and then there was another article that I saw about coral reefs dying, and I'm like, I don't need to see it. Here's what I'm mentally. I have prepared to live like my elder years as The Walking Dead, and that's my way of coping, I guess. It's like, well, I know it's going to be bad, so like, do I need to? Mentally, is it healthy for me to engage? And I kind of feel like people also do the same thing. So unless you can like try to hide climate change in your video or make it funny somehow, which how can you?
It's hard to make it funny. I try.
It's really hard.
It's not easy.
If you really can find like Dave Rubin saying something stupid about climate change, maybe. But it's like, I hate that we have to like try to clickbait people into getting climate change topics when
I think that is part of the art of.
Though.
I think that's part of the art of education, though. Like, especially like the way that YouTube works, you kind of have to find a way to educate through entertainment, and I mean that's what I try to do. Like, I realize a lot of these topics are dry; they can be boring. So you want people to learn, right? Like, you want people to know what's going on, and the way to do that, the best way to do that, I've always thought is through comedy. And since I'm not a comedian, I try to do it through other ways. but like there are ways that you can talk about these issues that climate change is definitely a tough one, but I think for the vast majority of other topics, there are ways that you can, communicate them through whether it's clips and then expand on those clips. That's what I tend to do is I have a clip, then I'll go deeper into that topic. And there are ways around just, doing a dry content where that has an audience as well. But I think if you want to reach people who don't normally engage with information or news, there's a way to do it where it's not just dry and you kind of have to be a little entertaining while doing it.
I stay away from the topic because I'm more prone to be a stochastic terrorist on it. Because I want to recommend if corporations are still people, that we assassinate every single oil company, things like that. So
in a video game,
right? In a video game, kind of. Yeah. We just joking, right? And we're kind of sort of in Minecraft, stochastic, all that. But it's a little harder for me to even talk about those subjects, because what do you tell your children? Do you tell your children not to have children? Right. And so when I go down that road, it becomes extremely dark really quick. So I kind of tend to, I cover it because we have a responsibility to cover it. Right. But outside of that, I too have to stay away from it.
Well, and I feel like that's valid because all of us know, but we can't say that we are not going to get action to take place by normal political means. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? It would have happened already. Like, we're talking about an existential threat to our entire species. So it's hard to talk about this and talk about solutions as if, just like, electoral politics, make sure you vote is going to be, the main thing, when we all know that's not going to happen. Like, you've got to burn shit down in a way. Not recommending this only in Minecraft, but in Minecraft, you have to burn shit down. You know what I mean?
And then build.
Rebuild. Right. Yeah.
Well, the burning down's already happening, so we just there's enough forest fires for the building.
Listen, who's going to tell the difference between a Molotov cocktail and a forest fire at this point? They're all
right.
In Roblox.
Yes. Or Terraria. Yeah.
Speaking of climate change, there is there's an airport, Frankfurt Airport, that is apparently underwater.
Yes.
What?
Yes, completely.
Oh my God.
This tweet here, we've gone from seamlessly from airports being blocked by climate activists to being blocked by climate impacts.
Wow.
I saw one image where there's like water pouring through the front doors.
I mean, they could just sell their plane and buy a different plane at a different location.
Can one of you read that tweet for me?
I'm not going to try.
No, I don't want the translation. I want to hear it as it's meant to be. Subs, not dubs. Give me the real version.
It's a beautiful language.
It is a beautiful language. One that I think is very hard to not sound a certain way though while speaking.
And yet they speak flawless English every time too.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Very good.
You guys kind of, I see the hanging out with y'all really does bring out some of the darkest and worst jokes I have.
But also the sillies, right, Ben? We're silly.
Yes. We're gonna keep it lighthearted. Yes, thank you.
That's crazy footage, though. That's
there it is. That's the one.
Jeez,
that's the one.
Wow,
that's horrifying.
That looks like Mission Impossible. That's wild.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So wait, what is this? Is this from? Was there a storm or rain, flooding, or did something give? Did some
I have to imagine it's a never-ending storm. Like, I'm not sure what else it would be.
Like what's headed to California?
Looks like Bioshock.
Yeah, California might be hit by a hurricane. It looks like.
Yeah. First one in 80 years that they've been hit by in that region. So
Jesus,
they're expecting.
California gets it bad with the wildfires and then the fire tornadoes and all those other things.
2 to 3 years worth of rain in a matter of days is what they're predicting.
Okay.
Gee,
Yeah.
Wait, the hurricane's name is Hillary? Come on.
Yeah, you can get more known than that.
Come on.
Check the emails.
Hurricane Hillary.
You gotta be kidding me.
Should have voted for me.
Show you for voting for Bernie in 2020, California.
Lock it up. Lock it up.
Oh man.
Yeah, I should probably look at the path of that because California is my
you're
neighbor,
right up
but
there.
yeah. I mean, depends on where in California, right? But I'm in like northern Oregon, so hopefully we'll be okay. Hopefully everyone's okay, but yeah.
If it reaches you, Mike, then it's time for us to escalate in our climate activism.
Yeah. Our quote activism. No.
Yes. No, our videos, our YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll kill all our channels by covering climate change even more.
Yeah. God. What a fun dystopian that we live in, or dystopia that we live in.
The sad thing is that if the Hurricane Hillary is probably going to actually clean up views wise and monetization wise for right wingers. We're gonna use all sorts of innuendos comparing whatever damage is wrought to Hillary Clinton.
If they get the views off climate change videos, I'll be so fucking pissed.
They're going to, they're going to, yes. This is how it's gonna work. Yeah. The worst scenario.
That's just
no.
That's not right.
No, there's just no winning.
I'm going to convert to conservative. Y'all have to forgive me now. I'm just going to go over there.
It's amazing.
Hey, everyone's got to do it eventually.
We've got to make
Everybody does it eventually. Who said that?
Yeah.
You know what you've got to do? You've got to make we've got to make like a lefty wide like community satire channel similar to Colbert, where we just say the most outlandish thing, like okay, this candy bar went woke or whatever, and like conservatives will be too stupid to pick up on it. But
like what Sam Cedar and Michael Brooks did with that Jimmy Dore episode they did, but we have to do it 24/7.
They had personas,
channel,
right?
Yeah. Who can LARP as a conservative the most effectively? I feel like I would not be able to LARP very effectively because as soon as I open my mouth, they're like,
me, really bad.
Me, because I'll
take it away. Take it away.
Do it in Jesus' name. I'm a.
Oh,
that's true. You are a preacher.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. You gotta flex that.
Come on, man.
Oh, you'd have that character. Yeah, that we could call it like the Daily Apostle or something like that. You know what I mean? Like Daily Caller, Daily Wire. They love the word daily, right? We got the Babylon Bee for their satire website, which is funny.
You'd have to let me, kind of like for a couple of months, just be low preaching real quick. And then I'll come out like a real strong black conservative preacher, Blacks for Trump. Oh man, I'd make $1 million. I could fund the entire leftist movement if I did that. There you
go. Hey, maybe you should consider it.
Yeah, I know.
I am actually.
There's not a lot of like smart conservatives out there, but the ones who do have some intelligence, I mean, they're 100 millionaires. I mean, fucking Ben Shapiro.
I don't know, man. I think they're all pretty smart to be breaking in all this cash.
Well, it depends how you define smart. I mean, if your focus is money making, yes. I mean, we're all smart enough to do that shit. We just, can't. We all have to go to sleep at night is the difference.
Right.
That's the thing. It's so easy. Like, you don't have to try. You don't have to research. You just make shit up. Like, hey, I went outside and I went to the store and this cereal box had rainbow colors. It's woke. You don't have to even try. That's the thing. It's so easy. Imagine just being able to make things up.
That exact scenario that you just said that happened. James Lindsay called Fruit Loops woke because it has made them on the side. Yeah, like that actually, it's not even ridiculous. That's like truth is stranger than fiction right there.
You can't satirize these people.
They're going over like every piece of merchandise with like a magnifying glass. We got to find woke. We got to find wokes in one of these boxes. Like it's just.
10 Commandments have a lot of thou in it. What is a thou? Which one is thou? What is thou? Moses gone woke. Moses gone woke.
Oh God. I hate
Did y'all
this
see
country.
what Matt posted the other day? Like, you know how apparently there's like you can get money from Twitter if you get lots of engagements and you join the MLM pyramid scheme. Seth Dillon, creator of the Babylon Bee, basically said the worst thing I think a human being could do, just outright mocking a teenage girl who got raped and was forced to give birth, and was not only mocking that, but then like Matt found not only was Seth Dillon's thing like as abhorrent and monstrous as you can imagine, underneath another blue check mark was like, well, you know, maybe this is good as a form of like what they wanted a study on how much it helps console.
Oh,
like,
he said that something like, I wonder if there's ever been a study, completely seriously, I wonder if there's ever been a study about how healing it is for rape victims to bring life into the world through their rape. Yeah, very, very gross, yes.
And
How
making
did they
money
get
off
these
that.
evil thoughts? Like, holy shit, they are so evil.
Right?
Well, basically, Mr. Free Speech, Seth Dillon, who has made quote unquote free speech like his entire personality ever since Elon Musk bought Twitter specifically to unsuspend the Babylon Bee account. He's been all about free speech, but then all of a sudden, after he said that abhorrent thing about, I think he said what he said was in reference to a 13-year-old who was forced to give birth to her rapist child. He said something like, "Oh, I wonder if they're going to dress the kid up in a onesie that says I should have been aborted," or something like that.
Oh my God.
People have been, sending joke tweets to him, mocking him and making fun of him. And one was like, one was over the top, but it was like, oh, me and my buddies are gonna come down and hold you down and see how you like it, or something like that. And there was another tweet where this one was I thought was pretty funny. It was something like, where is it? Oh, there's a New York Post article about how there's a missing 12-year-old girl believed to be staying with much older man, and someone on Twitter who goes by the name QAnon Latifa said, "Open and shut case at FBI. The man who has her under his control is at Seth Dillon."
Is this legal?
And Seth Dillon replies, "Is this legal?" And then he's going, "I'm blocked, so I can't report it." So he's taking like the person who. A bunch of the tweets who were attacking him yesterday, their accounts have already been suspended, including that account I mentioned earlier. This one hasn't been. If this one gets suspended, because this one isn't even like, you can't even misconstrue this as a violent threat or anything. That's ridiculous. But this dude is Mr. Free Speech. He had a tweet just last month about how he quotes, "You have free speech, but you can't be wrong. The line must be drawn at misinformation." That's a quote he quotes. Then he says, "This is nonsense. If free speech is anything, it's the right to be wrong." And now he's out there reporting tweets for obviously joking about him abducting a 12-year-old girl. Like, of course, that's what these guys are all about. Free speech for me, but not for thee, right? But this is Seth Dillon, the guy behind Babylon Bee. What's extra funny
Painfully
is...
unfunny.
What is extra funny, though, is that in the replies to that tweet where he says, "Is this legal?" about the person claiming he abducted a 12-year-old, a bunch of people are replying, "No, Seth, it's not legal to abduct a 12-year-old girl. Let her go. Let her go."
Oh, man.
But it's wild how they're all just kind of having like an awful off. Like they've got a financial incentive under this current like system with Twitter to now get as much engagement as possible. So I see so many people like Ian Miles Chong, other like right wingers, saying the most disgusting, worst possible things in the world that they know will farm engagement with a lot of different people.
That's what it's all about now. Like you see it with all these blue checks. Like if not like saying something abhorrent, it's these obvious like leading questions so people respond. Like, look at the Krasensteins. All their posts are literally all of a sudden they're Mr. Anti-Trump, and then all of a sudden Musk pays them, tens of thousands of dollars, and all of a sudden it's like, listen, we can have our feelings about Trump, but we are a country of rules of law, and I don't know what we're doing with Trump. What do you all think? And now set the trap for all these people to go under his tweet and reply and everything. Like, it's ridiculous. It's so like degrading to do that. I could never. And I have a blue check because it was deigned upon me by Musk, but I could never.
Are you getting paid yet?
So demeaning. I submitted my application. I thought, if I have it, why not? And
oh yeah, of course.
I have not. We'll see what happens. I'll let
see
you all know, and I'll be completely transparent about it. The whole point is to see if he does. So
we'll see if all of a sudden the
and
coverage of Mashable becomes slightly positive towards Elon Musk now.
I mean, honestly though, if he pays me, I would be getting paid for literally like 6 months of doing nothing but like completely shitting all over him. So I would just continue doing that. It's why fix what isn't broken for me, right? I mean.
Yeah, I think there's a 0% chance you get
paid. Yeah. No,
I mean, considering he's the one paying for your blue check, it's probably going to go to him, right?
Well, he's not actually paying for it. Like, it's not like $8 every month is coming out of his account. He just told them to like flip a switch.
Yeah. No, I mean, if he's not watching,
considering they're not paying Cat Turd, like I don't think they're going to pay you. Cat Turd.
Well, I'm sure Cat Turd got paid. I'm sure Cat Turd got paid now.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure they just paid a bunch of people in August who weren't part of Musk's initial batch of favorites. They didn't get paid that much. It was like the people who shared it got paid a couple $100 or whatever. Yeah. But like, I did a piece earlier this week. This great indie researcher, Travis Brown, has been tracking X Premium subscriptions, which is now what Twitter Blue is called since it started, and he got me the latest data. And what's really interesting here is not only did, you would think that like, oh, Musk did this whole thing, this whole promo where he paid his favorites tens of thousands of dollars for just tweeting. They must have opened the floodgates for Twitter for X Premium subscriptions, right? No, it didn't. Over the past 6 weeks, only around 90,000 people subscribe to X Premium, which is in line to what it regularly normally is. In fact, it's less than when he threatened to take away the verification badges from the legacy check marks. So, like, the promise of a big payday, which you would never get, it's only for Musk's favorites, that wasn't even enough to sway a significant number of people. And on top of that, something like 38%, somewhere around that, don't even have 38% of X Premium subscribers don't even have the 500 follower requirement to even be able to apply for monetization. So if you're wondering, if you're wondering where the monetization money is coming from, it's coming from that group of people who can't be monetized and they're just distributing that. Like, it's the only way that makes sense. Like, the idea that this is coming from advertising revenue is automatically suspect from me because Musk keeps claiming that it's not based on impressions because it can't be based on impressions because not everyone's impressions count towards monetization. It's only impressions from other people paying for X Premium. How do you count that? And then how do you decide how much money from your advertising revenue to disperse based on that? There's no other platform that does anything like that because you can't make those calculations. So I fully think that when he says you're getting paid advertising, it's bullshit. I think there is a specific amount of Twitter Premium subscriptions that they know will never convert to people who could be paid, and they're using their $8 a month in a pool and dispersing that to people. It sounds like a Ponzi, right? But that's basically what it is.
To what end? Did Musk honestly think that was going to be the way he was going to fund Twitter through Twitter Blue subscriptions?
He really thought, he fully thought the subscription model was going to take off because he didn't care about advertisers leaving at first because he had put, I don't even remember, but like in November, when he made the big deal about attacking like legacy verification check marks and I was all you do is pay me $8, and he was pushing it so hard because he really thought this was going to be like the big thing. Like, he looked at it as Twitter has 256 million monthly active users. If we convert like
1%,
right, 1%, you're right off the bat, you're doing good. Right now, I believe it's like they've converted after almost a year of this now. I think it's something like 0.1% 0.3% or something like that.
Okay.
And it's not like ramping up. There's still under 1 million people subscribed to this. They've not even crossed the 1 million mark yet on a site that they're now claiming has doubled in monthly users. They now claim there's over 500 million monthly users on Twitter now. I highly doubt those numbers. Or I did notice they dropped the word active from the stats. It used to be how many monthly active users. Now they're just saying how many monthly users. And they're also focusing on a completely made up metric, which is his favorite. The unregretted user minutes on a platform. What the fuck is that? No platform ever. Like, who cares about that number? It doesn't matter. Unregretted user minutes. What
does that even mean?
Unregretted? What is that?
Basically, people who are spending a lot of time on Twitter, I guess, and they're enjoying their time on Twitter, which I don't know.
Well, then they should be called regretted user minutes.
Right.
I have a lot of regretful user minutes on Twitter. I'll tell you that.
Right.
Right. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's he really thought he had something here. I don't think he fully got Twitter, because Twitter was never going to be the cash cow that Facebook and Instagram and even like Snapchat and TikTok are. It's just a completely different beast altogether. That's why they were like Mark Zuckerberg said, like they were worried about Twitter in the beginning, like in the mid to late 2000s. They thought Twitter was building itself up to be a real Facebook competitor, but then they saw how far Twitter could get, and so they couldn't get past that like peak, and they were like, oh, this is nothing. Like, we don't care.
You know what? I honestly think though, the subscription model was not a bad idea. It's just it was Musk. Right. It was that nobody wanted to deal with Elon Musk. And then I saw he made one other. I'm saying something good about Elon Musk. My God, when he changed the ads and he changed it from saying promoted at the bottom to just saying ad in the top right, you started seeing all of the advertisements get a whole lot more engagement. And I was like, you know what? That's really smart. It would be really good if he hadn't already chased away all of the best advertisers, because he's an idiot. So I think Twitter actually could have done a lot better with some of these changes if it had not been Elon Musk being the moron and the fascist at the head of the wheel. Matter of fact, some of the key advertisers dropped this week because their advertisements came up next to Nazi content. So, there was no way they were going to win with that.
Right. Yeah. Musk is really his own worst enemy when it comes to Twitter, without a doubt. I mean, and it's funny because the whole purpose of him bringing on a new CEO in Linda Yaccarino was to sort of try to change that outlook and give a positive spin to Twitter. And then ever since he's brought her on, he's continually shown that she has absolutely no sway in the company whatsoever. Like, she went out there on CNBC and pretended she's, no, that's not true. It's just that Musk runs product and I run the business end of things. But it's like, that's not even true in and of itself. How does the CEO of the company not be the one who announces the complete change of name of the company? How is the CEO of the company not have at least a statement ready to go when the owner of the company Musk changes the name? For like 17 hours, she didn't say anything. It was clear that she was not prepared for it, because it was one of his like late night rants, and he was just like, I'm going to do it. What the hell? On top of that, another story that dropped earlier this week is that you guys ever see like the sponsored accounts on Twitter, where it's like basically a Twitter ad, but instead of a tweet that's promoted, it's just like telling you to follow a user. Like, it just shows the follow button.
You took those out.
Yeah. Just earlier this week, Axios broke the story that, according to a source familiar with Twitter, they were going to end that specific ad format because Musk's product team, probably just Musk, didn't like it. And they made it clear to Axios in the reporting too that this was a decision from the product end of things, not the business side of things, which means even on ad-related stuff, Linda Yaccarino apparently has no sway. Musk is making decisions there. I mean, I'm sorry, she's not. There's a thing called the glass cliff, where companies bring on board a female CEO when things are going downhill, so they could basically throw all the blame at them when it all hits the wall. I mean, that seems to be what's going on here. I mean, it might be the longest fall ever for a glass cliff, meaning that Twitter will continue to trudge on for who knows how many years like this, possibly. But I really do think that's the scenario here, or she's just gonna leave because she's not like how long could you be demeaned by someone? I mean, he literally hired her as CEO, and then a few months later, he tweets out how the title of CEO is so pointless and it really means nothing whatsoever. He said that after hiring her. Like, it's ridiculous.
I mean, he doesn't like her, but he had the opportunity to hire the quartering. He offered, but, Elon Musk shut him down. He could have had someone really qualified.
Yeah, I'm sure the quartering would have done a great job out of a number of...
Oh, Matt, I wanted to ask you, what's your opinion on the whole Zuck my tongue or whatever weird tweets he's been putting out that he was like, his house and he was like Zuck my luck or whatever.
He's so weird. Like, it's so clear that Mark Zuckerberg wants to fucking beat his ass in a cage. I don't even like Mark Zuckerberg, obviously. He's not just great shakes either, but it's super clear that Zuckerberg's ready to go. He just wants to actually do it legitimately. Like, he doesn't want to fucking play around. He wants it to be a legit MMA style fight. And Musk is just coming up with excuses and then pretending he's going to go to Zuckerberg's house and beat him up or whatever. And in his, Zuckerberg's got like a practice cage in his backyard or something. It's like, and it's funny because when Zuckerberg came out and said, after Musk was saying how like he's working with Italy to make this happen in the Colosseum, and then someone spoke to like the Italy's foreign minister, and they were like, "We have no idea what he's talking about." And so it's clear to Zuckerberg that this is all bullshit. So Zuck was like, "Listen, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. If Elon gets serious, I'm back in. But from now, just consider that this is off unless you hear something different from me specifically." And Musk's simps are out there going, "Oh, Zuckerberg backs out! Zuckerberg backs out!" It's like literally only you guys view this in that way. No normal person views what went on here as Zuckerberg getting cold feet stepping into a ring with Musk. Have you seen Musk and have you seen those fights Zuckerberg's been in? Like Zuckerberg's no MMA pro, but he's certainly a trained amateur fighter. Yeah.
Yeah. Zuck,
I think he overplayed his hand.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I think Zuckerberg overplayed his hand because, I didn't know Zuckerberg was a good fighter or even that he was a fighter. And then, I think if he had just kept the whole thing quiet and then been like, okay, maybe we should just have a sporting match amongst gentlemen, something uncouth like that, then it maybe could have pushed forward. But as soon as you see those, that video footage, like Matt's talking about, I was like, oh, wow, he knows how to scrap. He's going to destroy, fucking Musk, no chance.
Lance, you hit that on the head because Zuck is fighting with the energy of a person who never got into a fight in high school, and he wants to make up, he wants to feel that alpha energy. So he's going to actually obliterate Elon Musk, even though Elon Musk has the height advantage, has the weight advantage, has the arm, advantage. Mark Zuckerberg has been waiting to fight somebody for real all of his life. So he's more than happy to do this. And Elon Musk is just going to, he's going to weasel his way out of this because he understands he doesn't stand a chance.
Right. He did the thing where all of a sudden, as things were getting serious, he comes out and goes, "Oh, I just went to my doctor and they did an MRI and I'm going to need spinal fusion or something."
And my mom says I can't fight. That one too.
Oh goodness.
Oh my god.
See, I believe that Zuckerberg wants to fight for sure. Everybody does. Because if he I think that I speak for everyone when I say if I saw Mark Zuckerberg beat the fuck out of Elon Musk, I would stand him for the rest of eternity. Yep. I mean, I
would forget about everything. Yeah. Everything, even the the mild
in that very narrow lane. In that very narrow lane, I'd be like, yeah, Zuckerberg's the man, but then everything else.
Man. Yeah, but somehow Elon Musk is making Mark Zuckerberg look like a reasonable, normal person throughout all of this, which is quite the feat, honestly.
And I think Zuckerberg saw that, and that's why he went along with it, because it did good for his. I think he really wanted to have the fight, but I think he knew from the beginning that Musk was gonna try to back out. Because come on, it's clear who Musk is. He's not gonna actually do anything to fight. He was gonna live stream going to Zuckerberg's house, and then that never happened. which I was looking forward to because I wanted to call Elon Musk out really bad for sharing Zuckerberg's real-time assassination.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
God, it's so wild how he is just like a child, like he's a teenage boy.
Yeah. And the second richest person in the world.
Yeah,
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Meritocracy, folks, doesn't exist. Just have a dad who owns an emerald mine in South Africa, and you're gonna be a-okay. That easy. Yeah, God. What else happened this week?
I don't know. I mean, we could wind down now. It's past 10 o'clock. Unless you got some other topics.
Oh, there was a PragerU
David always looking to
cartoon.
get out of here as quickly as
I'm
possible.
just these streams, guys, with the super chats. I mean, first of all, so you know, you don't got to stay for the full like 5 hours that sometimes these guys go for.
Is that how long y'all go?
Well, no, we don't all go. Binder and Mike with the super chat, they go to like it's 4 hours minimum, and it's like no, I'm out by like 12 at the latest for me, but I'll go way earlier.
I can't help it. The people love me. What am I supposed to do? I need to.
So in my mind, the sooner we get to the super chats for me, the sooner I get the fuck out of here. I'm exhausted. I am tired today.
Damn.
I actually have a lot of energy today, so we can go 5 hours. I didn't do shit. That's why
you can. You can. But is there anything else you guys want?
Well, there's a PragerU cartoon that I think Benjamin Dixon was going to share. I feel like I've seen that one before.
No, that was way back in when you brought up the PragerU videos, but it's there. But yeah, it's old. So
we didn't even talk about the country music song about the working class.
Let's end with that then. Let's get to that because how do we not do that? I mean. I've someone else take this one because I actually caught it late. I'm caught up on it, but I want to hear someone else. I've been rambling on about Twitter. Let someone else take the lead on this one.
I can give a very quick rundown. There was a
who's our country boy? Who's our resident country boy?
Oh, I'm not. I wouldn't be the person to talk about country music. I know about this though. I did a little video on it, and basically a song written by Oliver Anthony called "Rich Men North of Richmond" is a song about how you're working all day, the rich man's got you down, all that, and that poor people can't eat. And then by the time you get to the second verse, you find out the poor people can't eat because of welfare recipients, and all these welfare recipients spending all their money on fudge. Which when I saw that, I was like, "What? How is it supposed to be like a working class song where the middle verse is like?" And it's not capitalism, it's welfare queen, so we're doing it the whole time, actually spending all that money on fudge apparently. And turns out he was promoted pretty heavily by a guy named, I forget his last name, maybe you remember it, Matt, Jason something. He's basically a social media guru for the right who used to be a part of Glenn Beck's The Blaze and was promoting his stuff. And what's even creepier is that he recorded a video of himself introducing himself to the world 3 days before he released Richmond North of Richmond. If Richmond North of Richmond was to blow up, he was going to release that video as in like, this is my plan, this is what I was planning to do all along, all that kind of thing. And then all at once everyone started sharing it. Gary Lake, Matt Walsh, you name it. It was just like it blew up on the right so fast. I don't want to steal the 9/11 conspiracy theory if someone else wants to take that part though, because it gets weirder. The story gets much stranger.
I didn't get that deep. All I saw was this video. I heard the lyrics. I'm like, this shit's dumb, and that was it for me. But in case you guys haven't followed, it's.
I didn't mind it at the start. He had me at the start. It's like it's a decent bluegrass song, and it sounds like he's impassioned about talking about the rich man's got me down working hard. But it was when he starts talking about Epstein Island and the government staying away from minors, and then how welfare recipients spending all their money on fudge. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, the idea that the working class. I mean, Walker Bregman's tweet here is great. Like, love to protest the working class man by checks notes, punching down at the poor and welfare recipients exactly like the rich men want me to.
Right.
Like that's why they're all so eager to promote this shit, because this is not challenging anything. This is completely in line with all their bullshit, and it's again another distraction from the actual issues within society.
Yeah, ironically, this is what a rich person's perception of a working class person is, right? It's deeply out of touch. He's talking about, oh, my dollar ain't worth shit. It's taxed to hell. It's like, motherfucker, like if you're like, stop. Like if you're a working class person complaining about taxes, then you're already like, you're not having the conversation that needs to happen, right? And then to complain about people on welfare, I mean, it's just, yeah, like this is very obviously astroturfed, I think. And yeah,
if your go-to is to complain about in terms of like your the like regular monthly expenses is taxes and not rent, you're automatically suspect to me about you being a working class person. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I just feel like this is very, very heavily astroturfed. And there's a lot of other dog whistles in there, like the Richmond north of Richmond, you know, there's a lot in there. And so I think that, like, to Lance's point, that this was all shared simultaneously all at once. Like, this is very clearly astroturf.
The fudge rounds line about 300, if you're 5'3" and 300 pounds, it's not only like shits on like welfare recipients, but it gets like really bizarrely specific in this song. It doesn't talk about just like fudge. It talks about an actual product, fudge rounds. Very bizarre, like very weird to like do that. But like that took a lot of attention, and rightfully so. But to me, the weirdest line is the fucking miner line, where I wish politicians cared about miners, as in like coal miners, as much as they care about miners on an island somewhere. I never in my life would I have thought that the right wing would love lyrics that basically say, you care too much about what happened to those people on Epstein Island.
Yeah,
it is
very
weird.
As if politicians care about that. Like, I mean, has Bill Clinton or Donald Trump like been questioned about that even? I mean, come on. It's just,
honestly, also though, what sort of adult says like, you know what? We're spending too much time worrying about those kids being raped. We got to talk about these adult men working hard in a coal mine. Like, very weird, very weird. Yeah. It's just so bizarre. I'm sorry. I think the idea that this was a organic thing is just not true. Like, and also the iTunes thing is so easily gamed too. Like, you know, the streaming numbers, that's I think the streaming stuff is organic, but organic in the sense that all the astroturfing that blew him up led to people actually streaming the song.
Right.
But the iTunes stuff, which was the first metric they went with, because it's the easiest one to game, is just bullshit. No one buys music anymore. It's like the lowest of low in terms of what like money exchanging hands in the music industry nowadays. It's why, like, if you look at like the top 40 songs in the country and you look at the iTunes charts, it does not match up because popular music is not actually being purchased. It's being streamed, and people are going to the live shows, and people are buying other merchandise directly from the artist. They don't buy singles via iTunes anymore, and that's why people like Forgiato Blow and the racist country singer who did the song about the small town, and every other right wing person who's looking to like blow up, and Tim Pool.
Everybody but Tim Pool. Everybody but Tim Pool.
No, he had his audience buy the song on iTunes, and when that first song came out, his song was #1 on iTunes, and they promoted the hell out of it. They bought like PR for it, like he had like the PR.
I saw ads
press
for
releases.
Did you?
Yeah, because this
isn't 2006. Nobody has like. I don't even know if I have the iTunes app. Maybe if it's just pre-installed on my phone. Who uses that?
I'm pretty sure the numbers I've seen is something like a few thousand, maybe even like 5,000 downloads in a short period of time. Literally gets you to #1 on the iTunes.
We can make some dumbass song about farts.
We could do that,
and we could get it to #1. What are we doing?
Well, just wait for me to make that song about farts before we start giving her.
I'll be right after you, Matt. You go first. I'll drop a single after that.
Yeah. We'll all spread the love, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, the funny thing to me is like, we saw actually a real organic song go viral during the same time period. Are you guys familiar with this comedian who has this 80s Europop persona, DJ Crazy Times, who had that song?
I'm wanting more.
Yeah, who had that song, Planet of the Bass. Like, the dude drops the song. He's already built up a following on TikTok. He drops the song. It goes more viral on Twitter than where he even has the audience on TikTok. And it just like goes viral every time he drops a new video about it. And then it keeps going for like a couple of weeks. Then he drops a music video. And then the other day, all of a sudden on Twitter, I start seeing he's opening up with the girl who's his partner who sings with him. He's opening up for the Jonas Brothers at a stadium show in Boston.
DJ Crazy Times?
Yeah, and what happened was...
Playing Planet of the Bass? That's wild.
The Jonas Brothers became fans of this song because they were so funny. And it was one of their birthdays. And so as a birthday present, the other two brothers contacted the guy and flew him in to their show in Boston and had them open up the show. And there's video of him performing, and like there's like, you know, scattered people in the crowd who are singing along who like are very online obviously and we're familiar, but the vast majority of people, they did like Jonas Brothers shared a video that they took, I guess, of like close-ups of people in the crowd. Jonas Brothers fans in the crowd are like completely like, what the fuck is this? What is this? Like completely like completely unaware. And it's like, no, that is how you know that shit was an organic viral hit. A few weirdos online saw it and were able to promote it to the point where like a few celebrities of the Jonas Brothers saw it, but the vast majority of the country was like, what the hell is this shit? Oliver Anthony, all of a sudden every conservative, this is their favorite musical artist. I'm sorry. It's just to me, it was such a leap in terms of how the two happened, and they happened at the same time.
Women are my favorite guy.
Yeah, that's a great line, by the way.
I did not hear that song from that, I forgot his name, the DJ dude, but I saw
DJ Crazy Times.
For people who aren't aware, it's a parody song that's supposed to be parodying like the 80s Europop, the 80s 90s Europop craze.
That's what
like,
I assumed.
Like Blue Dabba Dee Dabba, like that stuff.
I just kept seeing the music video on Twitter. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like they're dancing.
Yeah,
so
I kept seeing,
weird.
Yeah, it was really
like
weird.
This girl was doing like I'm like, what the fuck is she
amazing.
doing? This is so weird. Okay.
Yeah, they replaced the girl. Sorry, replaced the girl. My voice is breaking in the middle of this. Replaced the girl like 2 or 3 times, and the internet lost their shit when they changed the girl. But like, I think that was part of it because the actual official music video has the original girl in it, and apparently it was a big thing for like Euro, trash songs to do that, where they would just randomly replace vocalists in between like releases and stuff like that.
You know, this has all got me to think. I think I am going to release a single. It's going to be like something like the anti-woke song. And I'm just going to be like, hey, woke's bad, woke bad. And I'm going to tell everyone to buy it. So that way Fox News can do some sort of a dumbass segment about it and be like, this anti-woke song is #1 on iTunes. And then
you should release the intro music to this show as a song.
It is that one is a bomb.
I don't know if we have the license to it, though.
No, we don't.
No,
it's from a movie.
What? Don't say that on a stream where we could be taken down. We absolutely have it licensed. Let me pull up.
We do.
Let me pull up my ASCAP and Song Cloud license and all that song.
I think we can like stream it, but we can't sell it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
So like
Soundscape, that's what it's called.
I thought you all made it in like your basement, like on the keyboard, like hitting the beats and shit.
Oh man, I wish. All of my beats on my channel that I have licenses for all of them, but they still get copyright claimed if I play too much of them, which is annoying because I could just like post the purchase ID in the like dispute. They're like, oh sorry. They're really quick about it too. But yeah, this one, yeah, we can only stream it.
All right, too bad.
Fellas, I'm going to go because apparently my kids don't know how to go to bed unless I escort them.
I understand that.
Amazing having you here, Ben.
Luckily, my child goes to bed at 8, so it's easier.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with this when they get older too. Yeah, my kids go to bed early, so I'm able to. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, thanks for having me, and shout out again to Rebecca for letting me sit in for her.
Yeah, no, can you plug your stuff really quick?
You gotta come on more, regardless. Yes. I mean, you could even come on when Rebecca's here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's always nice having you. Yeah.
Hey, all right, man. I'll catch you next time. Take care, everybody.
Take care, Ben.
See ya.
Are you guys gonna do super chats? I didn't stream on YouTube this time, so I might bow out too. I didn't. I'm on.
Yeah, you know what? Today. Forget super chats tonight. Peace out, guys. I'm going to bed now. Let's do it.
Super chats to me. I'll be here for 6 hours.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't even know if you could do it, Dave. I don't think you could do what I do.
it.
You know what I was thinking? This is a crazy idea, right? Really crazy. We should just one of these days drop the StreamYard link in the chat and let people join, and you could admit them one by one, and we could like take questions.
You want to be here for 24 hours?
What happens? What happens if more people try to join than are allowed?
Like, they would just get blocked. They'd have
There's
to
a max of like 10.
Yeah.
No, I know that, but I wonder if like StreamYard would just be like, if like 100 people are trying to log into the same link, if StreamYard would just be like, can't compute, like just our stream blows up.
There may be. I'm surprised there isn't like a call-in thing. Maybe there's a call-in thing for this. I don't know.
I feel like
That'd
it'd be
be
really
really
cool
smart.
to take calls. I would love to do
I feel like
something
they
like
should
that.
probably do that. It seems like a thing they could
Yeah.
implement.
I tried doing calls on when I was doing Twitch streams, and I tried to do Skype. Nobody used Skype, so I tried to do Discord, and I don't know how to do Discord, so it just didn't work. But I want to take calls. I think it would be really fun.
I mean, I do it through Skype, and I guess my viewers are smart enough to figure out Skype. But let's
Your
go to
viewers
the
are just
super
older, Matt.
All right, I'll say by then, fam. I'll see you next Thursday. I'll raid into, I guess, Humanist Report this time. Are you on Twitch?
I am, yeah.
All right,
cool. Thank
sweet.
you.
All right, bye.
Take care,
guys.
Lance.
Bye.
Peace.
Well, we just
Yeah,
got a
let's-
raid
let's
from
do-
Lance from the serves. Hey, everyone.
Wow. All right, on this show, it's called
You both
Leftist
said that in
Mafia,
sync.
and this is where some of your favorite leftists come and discuss. Yeah, okay, the bit's over. Let's read the super chats.
Yes. Mike Thompson. Gotta
Thank
figure
you,
out who this
Mike. That one is for me. Really appreciate that. Yeah, always happy to have Benjamin Dixon on. We need to bring him on much more often because I love Ben. We all love Ben.
Definitely. You can come
All the
in
viewers
whenever
are really excited too.
Kowalski with a super chat. Is Trump the Mandela of the 21st century? With the Georgia Peach police car. Right. Yes. I wish we had Michael to do a great Mandela Trump, I guess, impression.
That'd be good.
The election was stolen. I can't do it. Not even gonna try.
That was a good try at least. You know.
It started. I feel like I started out, and then it just like after the first like syllable, it went off the rails.
David does
Who's
some
this
good
for?
impressions.
Do I? I could do
your
that.
Jordan Peterson, your Ben Shapiro are amazing.
I upgraded my soundboard this week, and I have now a built-in Ben voice. Check this out.
Hey guys, this is my voice now. I am Ben Shapiro.
How the fuck did you do? What the
Are
fuck?
you using a voice changer? Nice.
Yeah, I have this voice changer thing. I could
What's
also
it
do this,
called?
guys?
What?
I have a soundboard. It's called Rodecaster, and you can do all this.
I
shit
have
with
that. I could do that.
With is it the two? You can do it with two or the duo with one of those.
I
The
have-
old one doesn't do it, unfortunately.
This one?
I know because I had it.
Here, you can't see it. This
If
one.
it's the first one, he can't do it. Yeah, I don't think if it's not two, he can't do it. I know only the new ones could do it. Unfortunately, I also got
This is my disguise voice.
Oh my god! I want that.
But I need reasons to use these things because I don't. There's a megaphone one. Hey guys, let's fight climate change together. That's my megaphone. There you go.
Sounds like the intro to a song, honestly. Like you're about to
Yeah.
There you
about
go.
to break into like a
Wow.
real pop punk.
And I have a new applause.
That one feels very corporate to me for some reason. Like I don't know why.
That's from Apple. I couldn't find my old applause, so I had to use one of the Apple sound applauses, and that's the best one I could find. Unfortunately,
We just have to record ourselves. Yeah.
Yay! Woo!
That is so cool. The Ben Shapiro one. Holy shit. Any tweet going forward, we have to have you you do that. That's amazing.
Yeah. I
I'm
also
blown
stole
away.
an Iron Brown sound drop.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's my favorite one.
I love it.
Anyways, sorry, Mike Thompson.
Mike
I think
Thompson
this
with a
is,
super
you.
chat. Soda fund. Thank you, Mike. I need some soda. So
By the way, just
Mike
real
Thompson,
quick
coffee for me. Thank you.
on
Sorry,
the
Mike, go
subject of Aaron Brown. So he has that Joe Rogan sound effect where he goes, adult baby.
I got to steal that one too.
I watched
That's
this
the best one.
I watched this food YouTuber
adult baby.
and she tries like different
adult baby.
foods and she always goes when she's trying to food and every time she does that I think adult baby. It's crazy. I've been watching so much RM Brown.
His sound drops will do that too. There's the old one that used to do it to me was what was it? It was I think it was another Joe Rogan one about Chinese people look Chinese. But what's the first word to that line? What's the first? I'm forgetting it. Someone in the chat will know. But that like every time I heard the first word in that line, which for some reason now I'm blanking on because it's late, I would always think Chinese people look Chinese. Like that's for some reason the sound drops he picks are just the best.
Oh my god!
All
right. Let's get back to
this one's for me, Fanatic 215 with $2. Thank you so much. Good brother Ben and my dude Mateo is in the building.
There you go. That one guy.
Wow.
Who's that for?
Yeah, that one is for me. Wow, $21. Wow, that's a humongous super chat. Thank you so much. Incredibly generous. I don't know why I said the word humongous, but when I said it, it made me uncomfortable. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. Some of the best minds on YouTube together. You are my brothers against the horde. All the best to you and your families. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
So people in the chat, they did it. Tyler says, yeah. So the first line to that Joe Rogan line is generally speaking. So he said, generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese. And every time I hear generally speaking, I think Chinese people look Chinese.
But that doesn't make it.
I'm not sure what the
better.
context of what he said that was in, but it's just because it's so bizarre, it just sticks out in my head. Anyways, bizarre. Where was I? That's a member. We don't do memberships, but thank you for whoever that is.
Oh, that's for me. Thank you. Thank you, Kenzie. This one's also for me. Bayphoto, $5. I guess, by the way, thank you, Bayphoto. I guess I click away from videos too quickly, but I just discovered your legendary outro songs. Yes. That's why I put them in there. So that way you'll stay to the very end. You never know what outro you're going to get. And I am always updating it and adding new ones. So, yeah.
Bayphoto for me, $5 super chat. Thank you. Says, if Trump ends up behind bars, it'll open the floodgates for new levels of grifting. Just imagine Marjorie Taylor Greene rallying for Trump outside of prison. I mean, when it comes to like campaign contributions, if he can still take those as a person in prison, which I question, they'll find ways to monetize anything. So, I'm sure there'll be a way for him to make money off of that. But if he's behind bars, then I don't really care.
Just if you all want to get ahead of the grift before the right does, print out some free Trump T-shirts and sell them somewhere, and you'll make $1 bajillion because that's what they're gonna do. So,
if they don't already have that,
that's true. That's true.
I'm sure some of them are already ready for that shit.
For me, Parker with a super chat. So, 2024 RNC venue change to Mar-a-Lago. LOL. Is this joking about how Trump being under house arrest? Yeah.
You might not have a choice.
Kowalski, $1.99 super chat. Thank you. Says the devil went down to Georgia and got indicted. Yes. That's for me. Dog Eater, $1.99 super chat. Thank you. Says y'all are car brained. Does anyone ride a? Are you here every week? Is this the same person?
No, I think it's someone different.
Y'all are car brained. Does anyone ride a bike / a bus? I did when I lived when they're in a place where there was infrastructure, but currently I cannot do. I mean, I ride a bike. Yes,
I have an electric mini bike that I ride. I ride that more than my car probably. So, touche.
It's for me. Yes, you're serious. Yep. $5 super chat. Thank you. Says Florida teachers also have to use kids' legal names, including trans kids with bigot parents.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
So a kid can't have like a nickname?
I forget all the specifics, but I mean, the fact that they have to, out these kids to their parents and all that shit is just,
Yeah, it's outrageous.
Yeah. Celeste says, of course, sends this to me. Celeste is always trolling us. 199 super chat. Why is it all men in this group? Sad face, crying face. I'm sorry, Celeste, to let you down this week.
We do need to bring on more ladies.
Oh, it's for me. Tokyo Hans apparently discovered that YouTube members get a free highlighted chat as if they were sending a super chat.
Do you really?
Hans says, yeah, whoa, to the YouTube members that don't know about this, you get one free highlighted message. I better use it wisely before I run out of space. Please.
I didn't know that, though. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, so if you want to send a super chat, consider becoming a YouTube member at youtube.com/MattBinder and
youtube.com/The Rational National, like Donald James just did.
Ooh,
Rash Nash Hi. That's actually, yeah. So it doesn't show the face, but that's actually one of my custom emojis. Is me looking high in a
member for 19 months.
Emoji.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah, 19 months. Amazing. You deserve an applause. A very authentic applause.
All those people are in David's house right now, screaming in the background, just off screen, just off camera.
I just keep them here so they can applause for the big super chats.
Daredevil with a YouTube member provided free highlighted chat. Tokyo Hans is awesome. Matt Binder, not sold on the guy yet. Yeah, I think I'll win you over. Member for 1 month. Venetia David also with a free member highlighted chat. Free sounds big because you guys are paying with a what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Not pro bono.
Member chat. I don't know.
Yeah, member chat. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks,
That's
Tokyo
so cool,
Hans.
though.
Matt, get well soon. Thank you. Yes, I'll be fine. I'm not like sickly or I'm just in a constant state of confusion.
I mean, if the room keeps spinning on you, that's not a good feeling.
It's annoying. It's slowed down a bit, but it's still
annoying.
At least it's slowing down, so you know that it will go away eventually. But still,
right.
When you lie down, you're okay though, right? Like when you go to sleep.
For the most part, yeah. No, for the most part, I'm good. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jeez.
Tokyo Hans with a 500 yen super chat. I have no idea how much that is, but I'm assuming it's like something like 5,000 USD. To Ben, who is worried about his kids rebelling politically. Maybe they will rebel further left. Right, possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, not to get back to the conversation, but the idea that
although it would suck to if thinking about that, I don't want my son growing up and being like, all right, shit lib dad.
I would prefer that to them going
true.
the other direction.
Yeah, sure, true.
Yep.
True. Although it could be the other way where it's like I'm not going to listen to your imperialist ways and clean my room. I'm going to go and take ivermectin with my friends.
Well, yeah, I mean that'd be the worst outcome.
That would be pretty bad. Yeah.
I'm gonna go listen to Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Fuck you, Dad. I'm just kidding. I'm a jagoff comedian.
Wanda.
Oh, Wanda with a it's not for wait, I can't even tell.
It's just
It
a
might be for me.
member for
I
1
lost-
month, whoever that's for.
Oh yeah, Wanda re-upped her membership. Thank you so much, Wanda. Tony Rizzo with a YouTube membership chat. Member for 1 month. Thank you, Tony. Matt, I've got a new render of the scam economy intro ready for you. Also, I posted the flyer for my roomie's benefits show to Blue Sky. Repost, please. Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to seeing that intro. Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you, Tony. This is also from me. For Resto with a super chat, $5 super chat. The you get more conservative with age trope should be you get more conservative with money. Yeah, that's usually true.
Yeah, I agree with that. That fairly usually holds true, I think.
Not all the time, but yeah.
Yeah. We love class traders, but they're rare.
Oh, this is me. Lawn Gnomes, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, hey, all, what do you think the state of progressive politics will be after the 2024 race? I'm worried that there hasn't been enough focus on who will carry the torch Bernie kept burning for so long. I think that's something that will happen naturally. You can't really, I don't know. I don't think you can necessarily will that into existence. And it's, it's hard. I guess it depends on who wins, right? We've already seen what what it's been like after Trump won and after Biden won. So depending who wins, I think we're just going to see sort of a similar sort of approach again, depending on what the situation is. So yeah, I think it's less about electoral politics and really more about strikes and unions and worker power. I think that's how we're going to largely see a lot of this transformation and where the energy is going to go. And my hope is that, a future leader politically will sort of come from that world. Will be a, former union leader, someone who has been in that fight and can take that fight politically as well. So, what's her name? Sarah, I forget her last name now, but the flight attendants union, I think she's fantastic. There's been some others that have come up more recently with their strikes that I think also stand out. So I think that if you're looking for future leaders, I think that's a good place to look.
Also, like Tara, I can't think of her last name, but she organized the tenants union in Kansas City. And on that note, just to piggyback off of what David said, I think that if we're going to have any success in politics, like in electoral politics, there's going to be like a leader that comes along and galvanizes people like Bernie Sanders, because I think that the left is too disorganized, like in its entirety. Like you have different bubbles of activism locally and in different factions, but in order to get like a really cohesive, strong, progressive movement, there's got to be a leader. Unfortunately, I wish that we could be organized horizontally, but somebody's got to kind of like mobilize this energy and turn it into something if it's going to succeed, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I guess that is the benefit of national politics. Like that can do that, as we saw with Bernie Sanders. And the hope is that can happen, again, sometime down the future. But I also wouldn't, I wouldn't bet everything on just that. You have to. It's more about the fight of workers and unions, I think.
Absolutely.
For me, NS Stark, $5. Thank you so much. Says Debunk the Funk is an amazing channel that debunks growing conspiracy theories surrounding vaccines. Would be dope if y'all or you, David, had him on. Have not heard of Debunk the Funk.
That sounds very familiar. I might be subscribed
That's
to
not
them.
familiar.
Let me see here.
We keep talking about how we need to like have like a Google Docs, like keeping track of all this shit, because half these names I'm gonna forget. But I will save one of these videos to watch later.
So I am subscribed. I like his videos. I haven't seen a lot, but he's great. He's actually live right now. So shout out to him.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah, debunks like RFK Jr. Yeah, love this guy. Good stuff.
Rachel Atwood with a $5 super chat. Question for Matt and Ben. Ben's not here, but I will take it. Do you have a sense of how your preteen kids conceptualize money, earning, spending, savings, and other basic economic concepts? It probably would have been a better question for Ben because his kids are a bit older, I believe. But my son is 8 and my daughter's 4, so no, they don't even think of that at all. The money is of no thought to them usually. My son is getting more on top of things costing money and us not being able to afford all things all the time. But they don't really ask for that much to begin with. They're pretty happy just watching their streaming shows and playing on their tablets. Their kids' Amazon Fire tablets, which are like the cheapest Amazon.
I just got one of those for my son, and because he's almost turning 3 soon, he's turning 3 soon, and I figured he should probably know how to use a tablet, because apparently every other kid does.
You waited till 3 to get that? My kids were swiping and doing all sorts of stuff.
I didn't want to bring it in too early because I don't know. I was afraid of like, is it okay for him to be exposed to so much technology so young? I want him to, but luckily he doesn't like. He's like, okay, I'm like he'll put it down and he'll play like with his toys or basketball, soccer, whatever. So he's happy not to be on that thing all day. Thank God.
Does he play any video? I know he's really young, but does he play like any video games or anything yet, David?
There's like some Elmo game where he's making cookies. He likes to play that one, but he's just like he's swiping letters up on the page, and it's just like Elmo makes the cookies. Like he gets really happy about it though when he gets all the letters up there.
That's cute.
And then like it teaches words sometimes, but some of them are like there's this train game he wants to play, and he likes playing it, but he's not really doing it properly. He's more just like you have to like make the track by picking the parts and put it in the spot, and he doesn't put it in the spot because it actually works really awkwardly as well. The game isn't designed well, so that doesn't help either. But I don't know. He still finds fun in just kind of throwing shit at the screen.
Yeah, I used to let
I'm
my
sure
niece
he'll get to a
play
point
Super
where
Monkey Ball on GameCube when she was like 3 or 4, and that's
I
when
thought
you
that's probably an easy one to get
just
into.
the joystick. Yeah, and she could
Yeah.
do a little like she struggled with it, but it was like a really good entry point. And yeah, she even if she wasn't winning, just like seeing that she could press the button and the ball would roll, she was very excited.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of afraid that he'll be so used to touchscreens that he won't know how to use a controller properly. So I'm almost like, I almost want to introduce the controller sooner so that he doesn't get too used to touchscreens. Because I do wonder how, depending on what you're introduced to first, how does your brain change depending on that, and like how you may or may not enjoy proper video games. But
yeah,
whatever, we'll see. For me, yes. Jacqueline Leach, thank you. $6.99 super chat. Paid up therapy, LOL. Thank you. We all need a little therapy. I feel like, I don't go to therapy, but I've been thinking about it. Just to a place to go and talk. You know what I mean? Like just kind of let shit out.
I don't have any local therapists in my like healthcare network, so unless I could find something that's online. But yeah, it would be very beneficial, I think, for me. This one is for me, Hideous Lemon with 10 pounds. Thank you. Hope you're doing well, man. I came out as bi when I was 16 in 2019, and I feel so lucky that my parents could not care less. They obviously support me, but they joke as long as they're not a Tory. Not that I'd get one. Not that I'd get with one anyway. That's funny as hell. Your parents are awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Ryan Lennon fan with a member for 1 month chat. Shame on China for attacking Maui and NWT with space lasers.
Northwest Territories.
Oh, right. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I saw
some
Tim Pool clip where they were debating the idea that China attacked Hawaii with like lasers. Like that's what started the fire. I was like, what the fuck?
No.
I saw.
Yes.
I thought there was a
Really?
wasn't
Wasn't
that
that
a
Tim
clip
Pool?
of Jimmy Dore, I think, right?
Was it Jimmy Dore? I thought it was Tim
On
Pool, but maybe it was
post-left?
Jimmy.
I could be
gotta look this up.
misremembering.
Because I was like surprised by like are they being serious right now? I think it was Tim Pool. Let me see this. I wanna search this up.
I think I saw it on Post Left Watch, but I'm not 100%
It may have been Jimmy as well.
sure. Yeah, it was him and someone else, maybe, or maybe it was someone else on his show.
Here we go. I know it wasn't going crazy.
What?
Yeah. For this big fire in Maui. They don't know how it started. Wow. I'm sure it's going to turn out to be like someone's cow kicked over a
They
lamp
sped
or
it up,
something
by
like
the way.
that, to be honest. However, we do have the story from back in February. China flashed mysterious green lasers over Hawaii, NASA says. Whoa. You guys remember this? This is like the first thing I thought of when like you have these lasers.
Sky barcode.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's
why?
crazy, by the way.
And what? Look at that. Yo, look at this video.
Oh shit. They light the shit on fire with that?
Language. Look at that.
Not bad.
What are they doing with these beams of lasers being fired over Hawaii?
They're either they're producing heat because that's what lasers are. They're either doing illumination or targeting,
Scanning?
or heating. Yeah, scanning maybe.
And if you notice, you only see the lasers in certain points. I don't believe that China intended for these lasers to be seen. Something, particulate matter, causes refraction, allowing you to see the lasers in.
Okay, I can't hear this whole thing, but I guess he thinks China started the fire.
Fire lasers? Okay.
It's a little challenging to get the fire to spread, but there were hurricane level. It said it was like hurricane level winds. Or there's
I don't
had high winds.
So they're
causing
saying-
it to
if they
spread.
can start 50 fires all at once with a sequence of satellites doing high burst, high energy lasers, then getting fire to spread isn't really the issue because you make the fire instantly in a bunch of different places.
And they can monitor the weather in Hawaii. I mean, you could just Google that. Like what I was reading from the National Guardsman who's making a statement was that, there's low humidity and high winds. So that's perfect conditions for wildfires to spread, which means any arson fires would also spread as quickly. Like China is perfectly able to say, like, this happens to be a dangerous period for fire in Hawaii. Perhaps now.
Perhaps now we shoot the lasers.
Okay, I also am not misremembering as well. It was Matthew Dimitri who shared the clip of Jimmy Dore. I haven't seen it.
Oh
I
my
just saw
God.
it. So I don't know for sure, but I guess we can see really quick. Oh,
like a bomb.
Yeah.
sorry.
It doesn't even look like a fire. It looks like it was like a bomb.
Oh, it's
some
pasta
of the
from
houses, some of the
Combo
cars
Couch.
burnt down to the aluminum.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Just nuts. So it was very confusing
I've
to
heard of
me
this
about
guy.
what really caused this fire. Look at it.
Yeah.
middle class, poor neighborhoods.
So what
wiped
seemed
out.
what seemed nuts to me? Several things seemed nuts to me about this fire. I haven't looked into it that closely, but one of the things.
Why is he looking? Press pause.
Nuts to me.
Why is he dressed like the guy who meets with Newman on the island at the beginning of the first Jurassic Park movie? The one who gives him the container and the money to steal the dinosaur embryos. Why is he Dodson? Dodson, that was his name. Why is he dressed like Dodson from the Jurassic Park series?
He looks like he's ready to vacation. Looks very, very comfortable, at least.
Was that every time I saw a video, I didn't see a fire truck. I didn't see a fireman. I didn't see anything. Did they? And I'm like, well, maybe they don't have fire trucks in Maui. Could that possibly be? That can't possibly be. So go ahead. You got more to show?
The reason why that happens is, and we'll get to that too, is I don't know if you guys know this, but the emergency alarm system didn't go off. And they've been bragging about Hawaii, how they have the most sophisticated system out there, that it was good for the tsunamis. It went off a couple times earlier this year, accidental, and we also know about the great missile. Remember the one that Tulsi tells the Turby, the false alarm, where it was
a nuclear.
It was a nuclear missile coming. Okay, but they bragged about this system being updated, one of the best in the world. It didn't go off, and this thing hit like a lightning rod. So when they're saying 93 people are dead and the death toll could rise, you think? Look at this right here. These are people. They were jumping in the water to get away from this fire.
What is he
Both sides, to the left and the right, are on fire.
They wanted people to, like, I don't get what he's even arguing. The alarm system didn't go off. So what? So the people in Hawaii, they're the leaders or whoever controls that, they wanted people to die? Like, I don't even get.
Yeah, I'm not
what's
really
the connection he's trying to
I mean,
make?
I don't know what the situation is regarding why the emergency sirens or what have you didn't go off. I mean, it's clearly there's an issue here if there's some sort of mismanagement or someone wasn't doing their job, or there was some sort of horrifically terrible oversight here. There's no denying that stuff could happen. We've seen it happen. Look at FEMA's response after Hurricane Katrina in 2005. But are they going into conspiratorial territory here? Are they going to start? Where does this clip go?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about, because based on the synopsis by Matthew Dimitri, it seems like it gets deranged, but we'll see.
White smoke starting to come, which means the fire's starting to die. Fucking scary.
Wow. Can you imagine being in the water in the ocean, hiding from a fire for hours? For hours. Eventually, they got out of the water and they were able to retreat back into certain areas. Now, I brought this over here as well because I want you to listen to some of the stuff that's said, because once again, the emergency system didn't go off. But the way this fire kind of hit, it was like a lightning rod.
I don't even know.
Did we miss something in the beginning? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
It doesn't seem.
Sometimes things are clipped and they try to make it seem like, oh, they said this.
It doesn't seem that bad to me. Yeah.
The only weird thing was like the system, but I didn't see any connection there that he's trying to make anything else.
Weirdest thing in that clip. The weirdest thing in that clip for me was Jimmy Dore's outfit. What the hell is going on there? Sounds like he's gonna be like, you hear about these fires in Hawaii, Meng? I mean, that's what
he looks like he's vacationing in Hawaii. With
yeah.
Anyways, back to Super Chat.
Yeah, throw a toothpick at the screen. The prof with the Super Chat. Binder, if you are straight edge, how is it working in the Majority Report studio? I imagine it reeks of weed, LOL. I ask because is Sam always talking about growing, LOL? I've not been to the Majority Report studio in years now. I don't know if people know, but I'm remote when I go on the show. I know it's a very good green screen, and I have the back studio background, and it looks like I'm right there in studio. But it's been probably the last time I was in that studio, I believe, was before the pandemic, like a month or two before the pandemic when I was filling in. But there was no weed issues when I was there. Is this for me? Let me see. Yep, for Resto with a $5 super chat. 95 used to be peak summer here. Now it hits 115. A climate denier coworker tried to explain how it's always been 115. Brainworms up.
This is for me from Kowalski, 199. Thank you. I can solve climate change. Get me the launch codes. Yeah. For sure.
Radical News Media with a super chat. Solidarity from George Floyd Square, Minneapolis, Minnesota, towards anarchism, revolution, continued enlightenment, and further action for collective liberation. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Spin me a sail. Oh, that was the first super chat I've ever received from Radical News Media. Thank you, Radical News Media. Spin me a sailcloth with a super chat. Binder, the perfect book for the climate change segment. Hyper objects, philosophy and ecology. Ecology after the end of the world. I highly recommended. Thank you. I will check it out. Foresto with a super chat again. Speaking of how hot Hunter's junk is.
I guess we'll get the rest of that.
Kowalski, 199. Thank you. Benjamin with that John Brown energy. I dig it.
Daniel R, 499 super chat. Thank you. Says if we don't do anything about climate change, it's going to get hotter than the place Hunter Biden's laptop is from. Hell.
Goblin friend with a super chat. Fuck, marry, kill. Chinese lasers, pole police drones, fire NATOs.
Oh my god.
All right, let's go with.
There's no logical answer here.
Fuck fire NATOs, marry Chinese Chinese lasers, excuse me, and kill pole police drones.
Sure, I agree with that.
I would agree, kill pole police drones, but I would actually fuck Chinese lasers and marry fire NATOs personally.
Mike likes a spicy marriage. Pluvius, the super chat. I like the name because with a name like Hillary, hopefully it'll just not be that wet. Oh no.
Jesus.
Oh no. Oh my god.
Oh Jesus Christ.
I gotta say, very rarely do I read something and feel embarrassed. That was not. He's not done either. Pluvius is not done either. Also with humor. The leftist mafia, humor so black it was shot by police. What? What?
I'm crying. I was not ready for that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I was not ready for that.
That was really good though. That was funny. That was great. Man.
Ooh, when Hurricane Nancy comes in hands, oh boy, for me it's gonna be Kowalski. Is this for me? I don't even know. No, it's not for me.
This is for me. Kowalski. Nebraska has no oceans or forests, so we are safe. What does Nebraska have?
Nothing.
I don't know shit about Nebraska. I don't know anything about Nebraska. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Kowalski's the most notable person from Nebraska.
I guess you have dry soil. You have that to look forward to. There you go.
Yeah.
Katie Sheppy, $5 super chat. Thank you. Says starting a new job next week. Community organizing in Arizona. Any advice for canvassing? I'm excited, but still pretty new to this. I will say for me personally, it's at least at first, I'm not a social person, so it's like it's at least not in person in real life. So it's very nerve wracking. But the more you do it, the more you get used to it, and just don't care when you're like rejected. Like, don't let that get to you, because it'll happen.
Yeah, you'll build up a tolerance and feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
If you feel awkward and a little bit unsure and nervous at first, that will go away.
I would open up with asking people to sign a petition to investigate the governor election for Carrie Lake, the election that was stolen from her in 2020. Ask for the state to, petition to reopen the investigation into the election, and then everything will go smooth sailing from there. Yeah. Bay Photo with a super chat. Sorry, I can't get used to the name X Premium. Right, a lot of guys explaining that charge to their wives when it shows up on the bill.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Sarah with a $10 super chat. Did anyone see or hear about that lunatic Mike Pillow's news conference today with all the drones? If you haven't, you have to check it out. I don't understand how it's even legal with the FCC or FAA. I've not seen this. What? I missed this completely. Like I said, I've been out of the loop. Usually I'm on top of everything. Now things are getting by me. What did Mike? What's his name again? Mike Lindell.
I heard Mike Lindell did some crazy speech, but I don't know about the drones. I don't know.
I have to look into
Looking
this.
it up right now.
Yeah, pull it up if you see something. I want to see. I hope it's Mike Lindell surrounded by drones, like doing like something insane, like standing there like this, and drones are flying at the camera.
Does he want to watch polling stations with drones? Is that what this is? His secret plan to fight fraud and save elections? Maybe that's what.
I have a video from the Daily Beast if you all want to see it.
Yeah, let's see this.
Sure.
Okay. I don't know what we're getting ourselves into here.
Yeah, he wants to fly little drones over polling sites. That's what it is.
That's positively dystopian.
I keep track on the people that are doing this. I don't know, that are doing the fraud.
Oh, sorry.
Did you add it?
I'm not actually adding it. There we go. Okay, let me start that over. Okay.
The points on the map are color-coded to simplify identification. As we deselect and update, those types of devices are removed from the map. Clicking on a device shown on the map displays additional information about that device in the bottom information window. Currently, the MAC address, the hardware vendor, and the first time the device was detected displays. Additional information will be continually added. The nearby checkbox allows you to view only the devices with the strongest signal, which in most cases means that they are nearest to the WMD detection device. This allows you to filter out devices outside of the immediate area. All information is securely archived for later analysis. The wireless monitoring device is ready to be deployed in any election, from local to presidential.
Now, let me tell you, everybody, we now can catch them in a lie. Okay? And now they're all, everybody's watching from home going, well, you could have made that video, right? They could all say that, right? Well, how would you like to see it demoed right here in this room?
Oh my God, I want to see these drones fly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how this
Okay,
works.
do we have a camera outside?
We should. I think we're set.
Okay,
Pretty funny if
everybody.
the guy was
if
like,
they're
no. What are you talking about? We didn't plan this out.
Here we go. This is coming at you right now, everybody, outside the building.
It's just someone flying a drone. It's just they hired some drone operator. That's what they did.
This is really fun.
It's gonna fly inside. Who's gonna open the door for them?
Is he gonna come into the room?
But how's this gonna work in the real world? Oh wow! Someone's flying a drone. Oh my God! They got a drone operator to fly a drone. Wow!
Wow! This is revolutionary.
Special delivery, everybody! Special
Never
delivery.
before seen. So it's supposed to pick up wireless networks near polling areas, which he claims will prove in real time if votes are being stolen. That's okay.
It's so funny how these are the people who are like, big government's out to get you. They're watching you all the time. And then they're like, yeah, drones watching us for election day. Yeah.
Scanning our wireless phones. All right.
I've got to say that the drone pilot is pretty talented. It must be a good drone because if you get like, I've only played with the little cheapy, like $50 ones, and they're pretty difficult to control.
Yeah, but the
There are
way
people
the way
you can
these
hire
mass
people that just that's what they do.
Yeah, but from what I understand, though, the way these mass drone things work is they're all like you don't hire like 100 people to fly 100 drones. You pre-program them,
right?
Like that's how they do those crazy like sky shows.
Yeah,
with
that
the
depends
drones.
what
Those
it
are
is.
cool.
The sky shows you can do that, but when it comes to specific polling sites, you got to know where to fly the thing, right?
Right.
that's
So
gotta be
are
individual
they
people
saying they're
doing
going to hire like 100 drone operators for each polling
Apparently.
location? I mean, like,
That's
are there
what it sounds like.
are there even 100 drone operators who can fly a drone without crashing?
I'm
Oh, they've got,
underwhelmed because
there
I
are
thought
people
that
whose that's their job.
when
No,
I
I
when
know,
I
I'm
heard
just-
when I heard drones in elections, I expected like them to try to shirk like these laws against interference, where it's like, you know how you can't campaign within like 500 feet, but they'd make a vote Trump in the sky with the drones, and then no fraud, and they'd have all these programmed things, but it's just the drones. So yeah, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. We'll see. Okay, this one is for me. Joshua Sean with 100 rupees. Thank you, Joshua. Pastor Dixon fan, loved your take on Kai Cenat. Do you know he is a Trump supporter and is a misogynist and Trump supporter? Doesn't matter. Oh, I wish that Ben was here so we can read that to him because I've not been following the Kai Cenat stuff.
Is it Senate or Senat? I got to plead ignorance. I didn't know who the hell this guy was until that news story came up. I'm like, all right, this guy is massive.
I still don't even know what the news story is.
New York City went up, like turned upside down. Like he was giving away like a PS5 or something. So there was like a massive crowd of people that came there, and then the cops. I guess the cops arrested him because for inciting a riot, but he didn't really. But at the same time, he didn't have the proper permit to have that event. I am
familiar.
I have like no opinion on that because I don't really care either way. So that's
It was irresponsible, but the fact that he's a Trump supporter makes me
Is he though? I just looked
him.
it up, and the only stuff that comes up is that he did some streams with a porn star who goes by the name Trump. So I mean, I don't see anything.
Okay.
I don't see anything with Donald Trump. Maybe I'm just not looking hard enough. But
Katie Sheppy.
It's for me. Katie Sheppy, the super chat for the love you show, staying up outrageously late. Heart emoji. Thank you so much, Katie. I appreciate it. I love talking with all of you, and I love money. So,
Bay photo. Who's got this?
I think that's Matt.
Is it for me? Let's see.
It's one of you.
Oh, it is. Look at that. Bay photo. I remember seeing tons. It was a $5 super chat. I remember seeing tons of major brands in one of Elon's spaces shortly after his takeover. That's when I knew he was going to destroy their ad platform. Oh, I think I remember. It was like they were like really trying to figure out what was going to go on, what was going to happen, and it didn't go well, obviously. Right.
One of you.
That's Matt
again. Oh wow!
Come on, Matt.
I'm really behind here. Sorry. Andy Boom with a $15 super chat. Oh my God, $15! Amazing. Thank you so much, Andy. I like Benjamin Dixon a lot. I can't watch this live, but just wanted to say so. Thank you so much, Andy. I'm sure Ben likes you too. I like you because you gave me $15, but I appreciate it.
And I like Ben. There you go.
Yes, Ben is good.
Is this for me as well? Oh my God. Admiral Stewie, $10 super chat. $10. Thank you so much. What do you all think of the weird Steven Crowder Kiwi Farm story? Oh my God, another thing I'm behind on? What's
I didn't hear
happening
about
with
that.
Steven Crowder
Yeah,
Kiwi
I'm
Farms?
I'm not aware of this. Interesting.
What's going on here?
This one is
I'm not seeing anything. I do know that there was the whole thing where some of his former employees came out and said that he would. We talked about this last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we
about
covered that.
Right,
I
yeah.
didn't hear about the Kiwi Farms aspect of this.
Yeah, same.
Anyways, here you go.
Somebody said he cheated on his wife in the chat.
What does Kiwi Farms have to do with that?
Yeah. Did they out it or
with Kiwi Farms?
It was on Leftovers this morning. Okay, I'll have to check that out. I did not see today's episode of Leftovers. This one is from me, but it's directed at Matt from Dusty Partition. $2. Thank you, Dusty. Matt, how long have you been wearing that shirt?
This shirt right now? What do you mean, like, how long? Oh, like, I've had it for a while now, but I just put it on today.
What shirt is it?
I showered today. It's my Defiance shirt. It's a punk band, Defiance.
Oh, okay, nice.
California. It says "No
Very
future,
cool.
no hope," and it's
Nice.
got a cool
Nice.
skull logo
That
with
is cool.
a blue and red leopard print background.
Oh, very neat.
Mine's the awesome. I have very wholesome
and their logo
capybaras
is
on
under
my
it.
shirt.
Oh, mine
It's
is
a Toronto-based game developer right there.
Legend of Zelda.
I have
Link.
several Zelda shirts. Very nice.
Mhm.
That's a nice.
I have 2.
Stefano with a $100. That's or 100 rupees. Is that right? Says Benjamin Dixon. When he supported Kai Cenat, did he know that his fan base is full of right wingers? He's a Rumble fan, a misogynist, and a Trump supporter. Ben Dixon's not here. I didn't know about any of this, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's
And by the way,
he's on Rumble, like he's being paid by Rumble to do a show with the other other big streamer, but he's on YouTube. I Show Speed. They do a show together on Rumble. They're getting a big payday, I'm sure, because Rumble needed
probably.
some non-political streamers to, to go on.
Like, I'm not sure what Ben's commentary on Kai Cenat was. Again, I don't care either way.
Probably
about
that the guy shouldn't have been. I mean, you can't really blame any commentary about how, what went on at that event. I'm assuming that's what it's about, because I don't know. I don't think it's clear. I don't think he meant for anything to go on. It clearly was out of his sort of hands as well, I think. And I don't think he was arrested, though. I don't know. I think they just wanted to get him out of there so they could close up the event.
I heard they pressed charges for inciting a riot. Again, I don't know what Ben's commentary was. I saw a lot of the commentary around it was that there were other similar situations with creators that were white and they weren't charged with inciting a riot or anything, and there were situations that were even like worse,
like Logan Paul, basically.
Yeah,
multiple
and
times.
So whatever happened to Kai Cenat in terms of like, or whoever he is, depending on again, regardless of whoever he supports politically, that doesn't change the fact that he, as a black creator, was likely treated differently than someone like Logan Paul was. So that still stands, regardless of who Kai Cenat supports.
Right. For sure.
One of you.
This is Matt.
Yeah, Boston-based. Yummy ice cream, so good. Matt directed to me. Yeah, I gotta say, I've seen some more videos from her where she's not doing the NPC thing, and she doesn't seem like such a great person.
Great person.
But but she's good at what she does. I mean, the NPC thing is good at what she does. I'm talking specifically about the Hollywood SAG video where she.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
And then there was another one today where apparently she was unaware that the photos she posted on her OnlyFans would eventually be leaked all over the internet. And she went on like a rant. I mean, it absolutely sucks, I'm sure, but
you can't really control that.
You can't. Yeah. What are you going to? Yeah. I mean, it's very obvious. If you post something,
and if anything,
nothing behind a
probably
paywall
should
is
have
going to
said
stay
nothing.
behind the paywall. Yeah.
She probably should have said nothing, because I just heard of that through her. Now, like, a lot of people will have just heard about that for the first time,
right?
And now know that if they were ever thinking about considering, supporting her OnlyFans, they could just find the shit online. Like, it's just best to not even mention, in my opinion.
Right.
But Adam Christopher, for one of you.
Binder, $5 super chat from Adam Christopher. Binder, SummerSlam was a disappointment for me. Don't know where WWE is going with Bloodline. Women's matches are being booked terribly. What do you think? I know what happened at SummerSlam. I didn't see it because I was away. So I can't talk about the match quality, but storyline wise, yeah, not impressed. Bloodline without Sami Zayn propelling it, it seems to be floundering. The obvious move would to have bring in some of the other Samoa family tree members who are currently in developmental to like build out a new bloodline, and then you could have had like a feud of like the new bloodline versus the Usos, and then you could even brought Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens back into the fold and have them defend Jay and Jimmy Uso. But to have Jimmy once again turn on Jay after everything they went through, just really weird. And yeah, the women's matches aren't. I think it was just a bad night for that. I don't think there's anything longer there with the women's stuff, but we'll see.
Wolfhard1136, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate that. It's very kind. Mike, since you're a fellow H3 fan, did you see on Leftovers where they covered Steven Crowder cheating on his wife, and that it was probably his producer that leaked it? No, I'll have to check that out, though. That maybe that's the Kiwi Farms thing that somebody else was referring to.
Yeah.
I've been really behind on H3 because I've been playing Final Fantasy 16, and usually I listen when I'm playing like a video game. But
You haven't beat it yet?
No, I think I'm probably like over halfway. But there's so many cutscenes, like I have to focus on that.
Yeah,
which is kind of frustrating.
I have that
like
problem
to
with that
play
game too.
and,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would
Yeah.
play like Zelda and like listen as I'm, in the depths or something. But with this game, you can't. So yeah, I haven't been catching up on podcasts lately.
I love podcast games. Like I'm playing Pikmin
Yeah.
4 right now, and I could list like Pikmin 4 is a great game to like sit
Yeah, I
back
actually just
to
picked that
enjoy.
up.
Oh, I'm really enjoying it. And I put a podcast on. It's fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking a long time to get caught up because I'm behind now because I haven't had the chance to listen, but I will. Oh, this one's also for me.
Those for you. I'm sorry. I'm out of it. I'm looking. I saw the prof. I thought it was for me because there's another one that he sent to me. But you're right, this one's yours.
$4.99. Thank you, the prof. I teach online, and when I edit my lecture videos, I always hear a bunch of mouth smacking. Do your mics cut this out, or do you edit it out? Any advice? I'm pretty sure the mics just cut it out. I don't
this
think.
problem. So just you go first. I got this problem for sure.
Oh, I've never noticed it. Unless it's something that I do that I haven't like picked up on. But I don't know.
I try to keep my mouth dry. If it's loud enough and annoying enough, I will cut it out. I will just go in and cut the piece out and just lower the volume on it because I don't want it to be too like weird and like distracting. But it's something that I've actually tried to address today with the soundboard. So I have what's called noise gate, where it can the mic basically turns off at a certain point if you stop talking, and then it'll pick back up. But you have to do it in a way where it's not noticeable. But even then, the mouth smacking hits enough decibels where it'll pick up on the mic regardless of what I'm doing with the noise gate. So it's really hard to avoid, especially with a mic like this. I would say, if you're using like a lapel mic, they're probably better with that stuff than like a Shure SM7B. But it really depends on the mic you're using. I would just maybe look into what the best mic is for that kind of thing, because apart from that, it's really hard to avoid that unless you just want to deal with it and then edit out the clips.
Maybe also like you're going to be your own biggest critic, so other people might not notice that as well. So you might be a little bit super like aware of it because maybe it makes you feel self-conscious, but I don't think you should worry about it that much.
It's really not noticeable unless you got like headphones on and it's your volume's up. But a lot of people I know listen on headphones, so they'll probably hear it.
Don't know what you guys are talking about.
And my mouth is like, this is why I got water right here. My mouth is always dry. Can't help it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when you're talking, I have to have water.
It's gonna happen.
Because
just like Hillary, David's always.
Should have called it Hurricane David's Mouth. Would have made a lot more sense.
Did Mike have to leave after that? I mean, did he have to?
I don't know what happened there. I'm getting thunder and lightning here though, so I'm hoping shit doesn't cut out for me. Adam Christopher, $5 super chat. Thank you. Says, do you all agree with David Pakman that the right wing should not get the Trump mugshot because they will use it for financial gain?
They're going to use anything for.
They're gonna.
They
They'll
don't need.
find.
Yeah.
They monetize. Yeah. They don't. They'll monetize anything regardless. It's not going to make a difference. I think it's going to be highly enjoyable, so it's completely worth it. So I do not agree with him on that. They will find a way to monetize. They don't need a reason to monetize, really. They got plenty of money.
Right.
Is this for did Mike?
This is for me. I'm
Mike
assuming.
gone? What happened to Mike?
I guess he just decided that this is it. He's out of here.
Right, all super
Tokyo
chats for me.
Hans. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. I think I know why you get vertigo. Cancun is kind of close to Cuba. Havana syndrome through Cuban space lasers. Right. We were pretty close to Cuba, right? Just passing right by.
That could definitely be it.
I could have Havana syndrome. In fact, I should say I do. So I take advantage of they're gonna like pay out to people who claim to have Savannah syndrome.
There you go.
So I'm gonna get my my Savannah syndrome stimuli.
The CRB tree, $5 super chat. Thank you. Says, have y'all reached a point where you consider any GOP a fascist? Unstable girlies for life. I mean, yeah, basically, at least politician wise, when it comes to supporters, there are people that I don't, I have a hard time understanding them. But I'm sure there are still people that just don't know what the fuck is going on, and it's the media they consume, and they're just, kind of taken in by that. But and they could possibly change if given the right information and enough time. But when it comes to politicians, I mean, is there an argument that they are not? Because if they're all behind Trump, if he's going to win, even Chris Christie this week, I shouldn't say even because of course, but he said he would support whoever the nominee is. So if it's Trump, he's going to support Trump, despite all the trash talking he's doing right now. When it comes down to it, these Republicans, they're all going to support the same shit.
Yeah, right. And on the other side of the same coin, Trump is refusing to sign the loyalty pledge for the RNC. So, he won't support them, but they'll support him. Like, that's some cuck shit. So Chris Christie can talk a big game, but I mean, he's going to fall in line. He's a cuck.
I like how you said his name, Chris Christie. Chris Christie.
Chris Christie. We'll just call him that. Chris Christie.
Chris Christie.
Oh, man, the rain is pouring down now. Matthew Cox, $10 super chat says, love this show. Keep at it. Thank you, Matthew.
Katie Sheppy with a member for 1 month chat. What the fuck? I can get you to pay attention to me for free right now? Why did I give you $2 earlier? Love to you all. Wow.
This has to be a new thing that they just rolled out.
You only get one. You only get one. If you want to send multiple, like you just did.
Just one per. I feel like they should give one per week, one a month. That's kind of.
No, one per month is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. This one is for me. I'm good. There's no message. Just $5 Canadian.
Can you imagine
how
long? Can you imagine how long we'd be here if every week hundreds of people who subscribe to our YouTube channels via the membership could also send a free super chat? We'd have to read hundreds more super chats.
More like how quick I'd be out of here. Because I would not stay for that.
Let's see. This one is for me. Just a voice, $10 Canadian. Thank you so much. Lady of a certain age here. Love you all. Boycotted Nestle in 4th grade. Marched with David Suzuki at 18. Still fighting and love young people. Stay strong. Hey, much love back to you. Really appreciate that you are.
No idea who David Suzuki is.
David's big Canadian. Big Canadian icon.
Never heard of Nestle. No, I'm joking. Pack TV with a super sticker for me.
I think we all got one of these. I got one too.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, hey, that's mine.
It's the little Hey You pair. Thank you so much, Pack.
Yeah,
I got that too.
I love it. Same.
All three.
Same.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pack TV. Very cute.
The Prof with a $5 super chat for me. You should take a car trip as a passenger. It helped cure my partner's vertigo a few years ago after she went on a cruise from Long Beach to Mexico. I mean, I did when I was in the cab coming home from the plane. Obviously didn't do it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to have to live like this forever, I guess.
The rest of your life.
No. Okay, this one's from me. Environmental Coffee House, $4.99. Thank you so much. Teach your kids how to use their hands and make things. Grow food. They're going to need good survival skills. I am a downer, but I see what's coming. That's a great point. And it's just good to know how to, do these things and stuff. I don't know if they still, like when I was a kid, we planted little plants and we learned basic shit like that. I don't know what they're teaching the kids nowadays aside from PragerU, but parents should definitely teach survival skills and what to do in those situations. Because I agree with you. It's gonna probably come in handy.
Dusty Partition.
Dusty Partition, $5. Thank you, Dusty. I appreciate this. Another super chat tonight. Y'all talked about tattoos earlier. I only have one, a Triforce on my shin. Love your shirt, Mike. That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, Triforce is a really cool tattoo idea. I've run out of space in my body almost, but if I were to get a video game tattoo, that'd be a contender for sure.
Ford 8484, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. You get the very authentic applause. Thank you.
You know why Sorry.
What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say it triggers me because when I worked at Walmart, we had to do this like at every shift change. We had to do the "We are Walmart." We had to cheer at the end, and it was all very forced, and that feels really forced. So for whatever reason, it's like triggering my Walmart PTSD.
I get that. It feels a little. I can feel the force in that.
Yeah.
Says, I got fired from my current job. Thinking of
After this whole conversation, we just had, sending me $20. Thank you so much, Ford. Got fired from my current job.
Well, I appreciate you didn't have to give me the $20. Maybe you needed that $20, but I appreciate it. Says, thinking of any way to be political and not selling out. It's tricky. I mean, it depends on what you're talking about, right? Like,
right.
Political politician. I think it's easy to be a politician and not sell out. I think. I feel like it should be. Maybe I'm wrong. But no, I don't know. I don't feel like it. I mean, all of us could sell out. We haven't. We probably the easiest route to selling out.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you care about the shit enough, then it's not. There's not much of a pull there. Matt Claremont.
For me, I believe. Yeah, Matt Claremont with a $5 in Canadian super chat. The government response in Maui is terrible. Local population is struggling and not receiving support. Please keep covering Maui. Decolonize Hawaii. We will stay on top of this. I mean, I have heard how horrible it was. So I can only, excuse me, jeez. I could only imagine. I've seen the clips. I could only imagine how much help people over there are going to need. Clearly, the government needs to ramp up whatever it is that they are doing, because it's not enough. Yeah.
Brian Sikowski with $5. What currency is that? R.
5
rubles. I wonder. Damn, now I want Mike and a fire NATO wedding fan. That would be fire, pun intended. This one is also for me, I believe. I just closed out of the window, damn it. Ford 8484, $5. Thank you. Love to see Kyle or Pac-Man on the show. Pac-Man would be a riot. Yeah, I'd love to have both of those guys on. That would be fun as hell.
Yeah, I'd love to have them on too. I don't know if Pac-Man will come on the show with me here, but
I feel like you've mentioned before Pac-Man hates you or something, but
yeah,
I got no issue with Pac-Man's fine.
Yeah,
I enjoy Pac-Man.
Yeah,
I
mean, it would be the first time I ever would be on a stream with him, so I would without a doubt have to confront him about his cryptocurrency advertising.
Oh God.
Well, he definitely won't come on then.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. I think he stopped doing that. I gotta say, I totally get why Pac-Man is like very popular. He's an easy watch. Like
Howard Stern promoted him.
Yeah, Howard Stern watches him.
He's like, oh yeah, I came across this guy, David Pac-Man. I love him.
He talked about it.
He just, he very plainly tells straightforward what's going on the news. I mean, I don't know what voice I'm doing for Howard Stern. It's not Howard Stern's voice, but
sounds like Bert and Ernie or something. But no, absolutely. No, yeah, he's getting all this attention now. Rosie O'Donnell's on the show. Interviewed him.
All
or interviewed
right,
her.
yeah.
That's good. For me, Kowalski 199 says Nebraska has a massive aquifer, corn and cows. There we go. That's what's in Nebraska.
Yeah, someone's point reminded me, Pac-Man may have Howard Stern, but I have one of the Whack Pack members, Hansi, who calls into my show and is a big fan of mine. So take that, David Pac-Man, and your Howard Stern love. God.
Also, Elon Musk bestowed upon you a check mark. That's also worth bragging about. You may be the only. Are you the only one, or is he still like LeBron? It's like you.
No,
LeBron,
all the big celebrities, like LeBron James, Stephen King, Matt.
Yeah,
Binder,
but in terms of like people
all the
that
big
are
celebrities
not big celebrities.
have.
Yeah, but exactly. Who's this for?
For me, Kentucky. Spin me a cell call that says Kentucky Fried Crime Division. What were we talking about that's relevant to? I completely
Fried Crime Division.
I will say you made me hungry. I want fried chicken now.
I would love some fried chicken, actually. Goddamn.
Yeah, I'm really hungry now.
Pons Gambit $9.99. Thank you so much. Says the operator of that presentation's drone was likely Lindell's co-host's son or some 13-year-old teen in the back room. I mean, absolutely. Yeah, there's no way. You know what? I was thinking like they hired someone. No, they probably just got someone to do it for free. Why would they hire anybody? So,
yeah,
for sure. For the presentation, that's what they did.
It would be so funny if the drone like crashed into like some woman's head and like her hair got tangled up. Oh, that's where my window went. I was like, where the fuck is my window? It's behind me.
Your window
behind you.
Just with all the super chats
YouTube
on.
window disappeared behind him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pinkerbell with a super chat for me. My kids loved the indie wrestling show that came to town last weekend. I haven't seen my youngest that excited in forever. We all had a great time. Yeah, indie wrestling shows. Everyone, even if you think pro wrestling is lame and dumb, go to a indie wrestling show, and you will, if it's a good one, if it's a good show, because there's some fly-by-night promotions out there that aren't run by the greatest promoters. But if it's a good indie wrestling company, you will walk away like, wow, that was crazy. That was amazing. I know people who had no interest in wrestling, took them to an indie wrestling show, and they were just amazed by like the performances, the athleticism, the high flying stuff, the acrobatic stuff. And they were just like, forgot anything they thought about pro wrestling and became fans.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely check it
out. This one is for me from Ford8484 with $5. Thank you. TJ Kirk is dope now. Yeah, I haven't. I feel like I've been seeing
I've watched
TJ
a few
Kirk
recent
video in a
videos.
minute.
I check his channel every now and then because he put out, I forget what it was now. I think it may have been like a Jimmy Dore video like 2 years ago where I laughed it was hilarious. I laughed my ass off. It was really good. So every now and then I check him to see what he's doing. And yeah, he's very unique. Like he's his own person. He doesn't give a fuck. I don't always agree with him, but I'll check out a video here and then depending on what the topic is, and I enjoy him.
Yeah, TJ Kirk was a huge influence when I was getting out of evangelicism, so.
Oh, really? Yeah. He was big back in the
influence.
day. I mean, he was on Rogan's podcast like 5 years ago or something. Like it was, he was one of the
I
big
like TJ.
YouTubers for a while. Who's this?
This one is me. Oh, and there's also another one from Ford 8484, a $10 super chat. Another message about Kyle and Pac-Man saying would love to see Kyle or Pac-Man on the show. Cheers. And then there's this one, Ford 8484 with $5. Pac-Man is more left to Kyle with policy. I'd love to see them two team up, to be honest. Well, thank you so much for all the super chats, Ford. I appreciate that. It's so kind. Yeah, I don't know, honestly, when it comes to Kyle and Pac-Man, who's more to...
I think they've chatted before.
Yeah, I think that they have. I think Kyle's maybe a little bit to the left of Pac-Man, right? But I mean, they're so close that it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I like them both. I've been watching them forever.
In my mind, like it's not. We don't need to compete, really. Like it's just everybody has their own space, and a lot of us feed into each other as well, and we all have our own specific things that we maybe are more that we're more interested in, that people go to us for. So it's no competition here.
Exactly. Although, having said that, though, I am the most pure on this show. Most.
Well, having said that,
leftiest.
when it comes to crypto ads, I do not do those.
True. Yeah, true.
But whatever. I'm not here to, make fun. Mary Morrissey, 999 super chat. Thank you. Says, catching up. I was late to the stream tonight, but still want to hit ya with super chat. Love the chemistry on the Leftist Mafia. Love watching Ben Dixon. Awesome, Mary. Thank you so much. Yes, we all love Ben. Ben, I always enjoy his work, his content.
Ben
his,
is amazing. He's a
perspective.
legend.
And he's like one of the only reasons I ever check Twitter regularly now.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's what he's saying. Barbell C, $5 super chat. Thank you. Says, love the Canada-U.S. relations on the show. Can you get Kowalski on the show to talk about climate change and farming? We should have Colin segments if we can do that.
That'd be a really hard
figure that
get.
shit out. That'd be pretty
I would love to do.
May not
honestly,
be able to book him. He may be booked up. He's always busy out there farming.
If we could do Colin segments, I think that'd be fucking amazing. I would love to take calls. I've been wanting to do that forever, but I just don't know how.
85 Ramos, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, I actually only have time to play games on Thursday nights, so you guys are my companion as I explore Hyrule, etc. Nice.
Good
Very
choice.
cool. Oh, this is also me.
Damn, this is ridiculous. This is an outrage tonight. Let's go.
You got 20 in a row.
I'm done.
You're on not so. That almost like Nazi. Changing the topic a bit to UAP. Have you guys seen the 2 videos about flight MH370 being abducted by UAP? So far, it hasn't been debunked by any in VFX community.
What?
I don't know
look it up.
about any of this.
MH370.
I'm not sure what flight that even is. Which flight is this? Abducted? Well, this is the flight disappeared.
Missing flight abducted.
4 days
okay.
ago, fact check. Was it abducted by aliens?
I have a video from.
Despite being debunked multiple times that the plane could not have been abducted by the aliens, the theory keeps coming back. Its newfound virility on the internet might stem from recent congressional hearing. Okay, so it's apparently been debunked a million times.
I'm watching the video now.
Not that I'm gonna let's be. I don't know. Look. Aliens exist out in the universe. Obviously, they have to. At the same, if they have the technology to come here, why are they abducting one plane? Why haven't we seen any actual bodies? How could any of them be crashing if they're so intelligent to come here
in the
and fly?
back room. Hope it's not the creature from above. It's the Blink-182 song. No one remembers that song? Aliens Exist?
No.
Which one is that? What's that song called?
Aliens Exist?
No, I have not. I don't know that one.
I just don't find the alien stuff interesting at all. Like, how many hundreds of fucking blurry videos of
Everyone has a goddamn phone, and we
thing.
haven't seen an alien. Like that's kind of where I get to. Like we have more phones now, and there's less evidence. That's just that doesn't.
Show me some aliens or shut the fuck up. That's where I'm at. And I don't want some grainy shit. At least 720p or get the fuck out of here.
All night long.
This one's for me.
Something very wrong. All right, I'll stop.
Ford8484 again with $10. Thank you, Ford. I really appreciate that. Dang.
Oh, sorry. I already moved on.
Well,
sorry.
We'll never sell out. Not in this life. Good. That's for me. Welcome, Jose.
Oh, I got no new YouTube members tonight.
Another one for me. Skeeter Reed with $4.99. Thank you, Skeeter. Love the show. Got any advice for a straight passing guy coming out to conservative family members, afraid to, but don't want to be in the closet forever? What I will say, and this is my number one tip for anyone, is don't come out unless you're in a safe position to do so. So if you think that you might be kicked out, if you live with somebody who you depend on economically, or if it could hurt you in any way, don't. But if you are ready and you feel like you're safe and now's the time, then honestly, it's hard to you've got to put it in your own words, right? Because your family knows you and you know your family and know how to explain it the best. But just if you think it's time, just go for it, right? It's hard to at first. The first person is the hardest, but then the second person gets a little easier, third person gets a little easier, and so on and so forth. But either way, good luck. I'd be curious to hear how it goes, because that's a big step. That's that's awesome. So good for you. Congratulations to get to that point is very important.
I say you could ease on into it while saying you're gonna play a song and put on YMCA by the Village People and say, oh no, it's because it's Trump's favorite song. And then you just ease on into, actually, it's not about Trump. Hey, guess what?
I feel like that's not going to fly.
I tried that with my parents. I tried to ease them into it. I made them watch a documentary about homosexuality and Christianity and how it's accepted.
Oh, okay.
Randomly. Yeah, no, not like that kind. And they were just like very confused. Like, why are you making us watch this? I'm like, I just think it's interesting. Just trying to like feel the water. And then they literally were not picking up what I was putting down. So I ended up telling my mom later. She's like, oh, okay, now I understand why you made me watch this. I'm like, yeah, dummy. Why would I make you watch this randomly? Like, take the fucking hint. And also just look at any home video of me dancing to the Spice Girls. Jesus Christ. This one's also from me, from Publius, $5. Thank you so much. If you want the most gay Zelda tattoo idea, just get the Triforce tattoo just above your master sword. Oh God, any tattoos
That's hilarious,
in that location?
A hilarious idea.
That's not a good location. Tattoos like in the lower back or right there. That's just so, I don't know. It looks stupid in my opinion.
Get,
but you
get two Triforces with your nipples centered right in the middle.
This for me. 8484 says there's a space for Kyle, Pac-Man, TYT, etc. Cheers from Buffalo Man. Yeah, there's space for everybody. Thank you for it. This is the last one.
Oh, D. Higerts with a $5 super chat for me, but he's putting $500 up front in the text box, so it looks like he's paying me $500. Very clever. For the unsurpassed Matt Binder, don't spend it all in one place, big guy. Cheers. Thank you. I won't. Thank you so much.
That's hilarious.
Higerts. Oh, I got some because I know David thought we were getting out at the 3-hour mark, but no. I got some. Let me quickly thank, let's see, Crix503 and Lucy Goulopoulos for subscribing via Prime at twitch.tv/MattBinder. Don James 1676 resubscribed from 1 month at tier 1, subscriber for 13 months. Yo sup, stopping to see what's chopping, says Don James. Amuse Mob cheered a single bit to say, if there's going to be a song about farting, can we get a cover of the old punk song I Can't Stop Farting by the Queers? I'm actually not familiar with that song, so I'll have to check it out. I know the Queers though. Cutthroat 1789 resubscribed for 1 month at tier 1, subscriber for 8 months. Left is best, and they also cheered 100 bits. Thank you so much. Amuse Mob cheered another 1 bit. This is really found a workaround here. Hurricane Nancy, that wind is going to blow. Oh, very funny, Amuse Mob. And Rude Dog 2525 resubscribed with Prime, subscriber for 10 months. Great show, says Rude Dog. Thank you so much.
There's one more.
Yeah, Kenzie, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words. Thank you. I have some Twitchies too.
I got another super chat.
You do your
too.
Twitchies. I'm going. Everybody, goodbye. It's great, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, peace.
Good night.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, so I have
David just doesn't have. David just does not have the sickness that we have.
Does he stream on? No, he's not streaming on Twitch. Okay, so it's just us. Okay, so
we're on top of it. We're on top of it, man.
We're crushing it. Twykel resubbed for 1 month. Been subbed for 7 months. So really appreciate that. Eco Mila has been subbed for 3 months. Cutthroat 1789 gave out a community sub. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And I think I'm caught up on Twitch. Yeah. I do. Okay, so I do like the idea, going back to this, of just dropping the StreamYard link. I wonder what, like, and just doing one by one calls. I think that'd be fun.
Maybe at the end of the night one day we'll try it.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got another super chat. Here we go. The Mick with a $5 super chat for moi. Sorry, team. Tim Pool was right. I paid for the Chinese space laser to spell out, "Will you marry me?" But the operator was shrunk. That's probably a much more likely scenario, honestly. To be quite frank.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Oh, and someone became a patron right now for me, specifically because of the stream. It looked like. 1 second. Let me just. Robin Barclay became a patron at patreon.com/MattBinder. Thank you so much, Robin. Really appreciate it. And with that, I think
pretty clean show. Nice and
wow, just over the 3 hour mark. That's not, to me, that's not 3 hours is about the average length of a stream I do. So
not bad.
That's it.
We're just getting more efficient, I think.
Who should we rate? And also, I think we got less super chats.
True.
Who should we raid?
Let's rate. So there's a small streamer called Moist Critical. He only has a 9.7K. We should raid him.
Oh my God! Very fun. I just right now I see we got is Riverboat Jack on for you? Because I think we were supposed to raid them last time, but they weren't showing up for stream.
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
that?
I see Riverboat Jack. Yeah.
Hold on, let me pull up their thing here to see what they're talking about, so we can cue everybody up. I don't know what they're talking about because they don't have it in their headline. Let's just raid them. Let's raid Riverboat Jack. Are you ready?
I just hit the initiate. It's doing the countdown.
Hold on, I'm doing the same right now too. Wait a second for me. All right, folks. As always, an absolute pleasure. We will see you all next. Don't end the stream yet, though, Mike. I know you did this prematurely. You prematurely ejected from the stream last week.
Last week? Oh, I did a little bit, didn't I?
Yeah, a little premature. You did a little. We're not gonna go there. All right, let's just raid Riverboat Jack. All right, we're gonna press it in 3, 2, 1. All right, everyone. See you next week, and on our own streams too.